With no meaning.
Like you can clearly be swayed.
Oh shit. Well, everybody.
I like
how you were like, yeah, nobody touched the table. All right. Fuck. Yeah, my bad. Shit. Nobody touched the table. Everyone, hello, welcome. This is nothing special.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You were out of the room when we said that.
Yeah, don't slam the table because.
Is it recorded?
Yeah, no, it's been recorded.
Oh wow.
We're not live though, so it's like
okay, cool.
He's got real nervous. He was like, oh,
they got my fart, bro.
It's like,
by the way, didn't even ruin the experience. You can't even tell where it's at.
There we
That's
go.
fine.
Episode 43 of the Nothing Special podcast.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
Pedro. With me as always.
Frankie, it's your boy.
Hey,
Shit, like pull a little vape.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's episode 43. We're interviewing Southside Collection. These are our first guests. You know, this podcast is called Nothing Special, but today we got something special lined
People
up.
would say it's moderately
very off-brand.
interesting.
Yeah, very off-brand for us.
Wow.
That's actually really good. It was a lot better than what I was going to say.
Cut that.
Yeah, that was a lot better than what I was
What were you going to say?
I was going to be on that, like, hey, everyone, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah,
Thanks for tuning in. Nothing Special, episode 43. As you already heard.
I'm dying to talk about this movie I love.
As you already heard, we have
Like
Southside Collection joining us today, our first guest on the show. So welcome, guys. Thank you. Definitely. You've seen these guys before if you watched this on the live stream that we did.
We put in our time, man.
Hell yeah, they
You're
did.
way too long.
Fuck, dude,
not
that
an
shit-
overstayed welcome, just like I was
That shit
surprised
was
y'all
dope.
stayed as long as y'all
Hell
did.
yeah.
So appreciate that.
Yeah, y'all definitely came through with that.
I
man.
think
That
it
great.
was like y'all's episode on our show was
Yeah.
the most the most active commenting we've gotten.
Oh,
So,
dope.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
Good comments or just like
Yeah, I think it was
what
all
the
people-
hell?
Build that wall. There's a bunch of bad
Who the
ones.
fuck are these guys?
What Trump was talking about?
I don't know what he is. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like
I know
it.
what it is. I don't
Too
like
many,
Pedro
too many
guy.
Pedros and Freddy. I know.
Yeah, Freddy, what the fuck?
It's better than that one episode we had a Russian bot.
Oh yeah, we did
jumping
have
our shit.
Yeah.
You had a Russian. Oh, you had a Russian bot.
It was like the
Yeah.
week of that kid getting
the
his
election.
MAGA hat taken at Whataburger.
Shit.
Oh my
And so
God.
somebody just jumps in halfway through the show, not on topic at all, and was just like, well, how do you guys feel about
Oh
yeah, we're like,
my God.
delete the comment, block the user.
Oh,
yeah,
damn, that would have been an interesting fucking episode.
it was fun. We made fun of him for a little bit.
We did.
Uh,
We did. We
and we like to make callbacks to him. I
Yeah,
don't remember
man.
his name.
Because he was just asking about how we felt about it and stuff like that.
You didn't have him somehow be like a continued guest, like.
You
Yeah.
find
Oh
it.
yeah, like he's gonna be like a featured, like almost
And
character.
alright,
in our
guys.
show.
Well, it's probably
It's
someone we know's like burner account or something.
Russian bot is here. He's just like,
Yeah, Russian bot is like this guy with like the fucking hat, or like,
Yeah,
it's like
like
a
a
robot.
Where
It's like
are
a-
Hillary's emails?
We swear they're there.
James Comey is
Yeah.
a traitor to the country.
Fucking
Oh,
Jesus.
man.
So let's deal with the comments. Like, do you ever have any like issues like that? Like that is a thing. Like people
He's
just
the
start
only
talking
one.
and shit.
He's the only one.
I was about to say,
Really?
like, we don't have anybody talking on our shit like while we're like going.
Well, wait till you do a live video, man.
Then people just
Dude,
jump in.
I
Yeah.
have tried. I tried
Yeah.
so hard to do like a live video, but unless you have like the actual equipment to do it,
Yeah.
that shit's fucking ridiculous. Like my MacBook, my MacBook's going strong. It's already like I think like 4 years old at this point. But this shit, I tried to set up recording while live streaming at the same time video. And this fucking MacBook's like, wait! It was like,
You
what
need
the
two or
fuck?
three
Would you
computers
just
like a
ease
hacker,
off?
you know?
Yeah, like please.
I'm not the new model. I see your search history.
Yeah.
I know what you're looking at.
Please stop. I'm trying to clean up all this shit down here that you don't want anybody to
But
know
like
about.
it weirdly worked for the 24-hour like thing.
Yeah, it worked just fine. It worked
Hey,
fine.
It's that
Yeah.
positive
No,
energy,
It was
man.
for the kids then.
It's
This is
for-
some
yeah.
selfish shit. Like so.
This
For
is-
charity.
this is
Yo,
our
that
shit.
was fun as shit. Yo,
That was a
Oh,
good ass
yeah.
time.
That was
Damn good
fun as
time.
shit. I ain't gonna lie. We sat there. We played like WWE, all types of like.
Play the
Oh,
30-man
yeah.
Royal Rumble.
What was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 30-man Royal Rumble, of course.
Fucking Garrett had to come in at 30 for some reason. He's like, fuck. All right.
Damn right. I didn't even win.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, no. That's right.
No. Everyone
Ah,
remembers
okay.
who everyone remembers who won. Everyone remembers who won.
Damn.
This guy right here.
Weirdly feel like you were. I don't really know. I don't remember how to play too much, and then.
Oh yeah, he trolled
Yeah.
us.
Oh yeah.
No, I didn't troll y'all.
By the
I
way,
straight up lied.
I'm nationally ranked. Now that we've gotten
It's
to the
one of those
last
things.
four.
It's like my dad used to tell me, like, or he used to tell the people, like, he didn't speak Spanish. So like when you know what
Oh,
I'm
so
saying,
yeah,
so they'd
yeah.
speak
Oh,
Spanish
yeah,
around
yeah,
them, and
Mhm.
like, bitch, I was born in Cuba.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I thought you were about to set up one of those. That's like my dad always told me.
Yeah.
Stop calling me
Stop
on the
calling.
weekends.
Yeah, I'm not picking you up. But
Who is this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
who is this?
Now, it's not your fault, but the only game that we didn't play that I wish we could have was Slugfest.
Dude, I know.
Oh shit.
I know.
Because we are both Xbox owners, and there's
Oh.
no baseball game at all.
No.
And
No, there is a baseball game.
No.
You
it's
talking about the
just,
show or
it's
whatever?
just no, RBI
No, it's-
RBI baseball.
It's not real.
It's not real, but it's like, but it is probably the longer running. Like I have RBI baseball
franchise?
on Super Nintendo and stuff like that.
Remember backyard baseball? That was my
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
shit, dude. Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
god, I loved that one.
I only
so
played it on the
much.
computer. Too.
Yeah.
I didn't really
Yeah.
like it
Yeah.
on gaming
When
systems.
people talk about PC Master Race, I'm like,
Yeah,
That's where y'all have
backyard
it. Yeah.
baseball. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know who dropped it then,
That-
but like,
one
that
of
was
the
my shit.
that was one of those games that like in school, like these game people came and like they were trying to bring us games to sell to like to our
school,
parents
yeah.
basically, and my dad like put he had like this thing where he could rip the information off of it, so he stole the game and then put it on the disc for me. Like now I don't have to pay for it. Like, well, I'll tell him I want every game.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
how it
yeah,
works.
yeah. Why are we stopping?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is
man.
like a kind of like sad thing where like players will retire and they'll kind of look back like this is the last person from the
Yeah.
backyard baseball that's
Yeah,
like still
yeah.
playing. He's done.
He's out.
Yeah.
I think, it was,
Oh, man.
I think it was Jim Tomey.
Oh shit! I was gonna say Miguel Tejada, so there we go.
Nah,
It's been a while.
It was Vladimir Guerrero or Jim Tomey.
Yeah.
Chipper Jones got out. Yeah, I played a lot of backyard baseball.
Yeah.
I think Pablo's still out there somewhere.
Was it like
That's
one
his name.
character that
Yeah,
was like
Pablo.
overrated?
Yeah,
or
Pablo.
kinda
It's
broken?
Pablo.
Yeah. But he was like a generic player.
Yeah, he was like the video games character.
Yeah, he said like perfect
You had
stats or something.
A-Rod, you had Barry Bonds, and you had fucking Pablo.
Yeah.
then there's this.
That was the
little-
earliest sign of positive Hispanic representation in video
There's
games.
this dumb little hit kid, and like he was dumb.
You
like
said the
he,
one word they said you
He
couldn't
was
say.
dumb.
Hick?
Dumb.
Dumb.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Okay, well, anyway,
He shook him, man. He's like,
it was just this fucking ginger white kid
there's another one.
that was fast as like you couldn't believe, and
Yeah,
so
really.
his hitting was awful.
He's-
but if you just figured it out, like you just picked
Just
him every
fucking
time,
bunts and like,
and
there
yeah,
you go.
he'd
There you
steal,
go.
and then you
Yeah.
have Pablo after him who hit everything.
Oh god.
Hey,
I
that's a
had
solid
it.
lineup.
That's
That's
what
a
I'm
solid
saying.
lineup.
I
yeah.
wish
Pablo and that ginger kid.
I wish I could have actually played online against people. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You probably would have been
was-
humbled.
yeah,
That was during the time where like I didn't know that wallpapers weren't a game because my cousin had a wallpaper of
Like maze?
Screensavers or
Oh.
a screensaver. No, a
Oh.
wallpaper like on their desktop.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like a wallpaper of like Homer, like just chilling at like the nuclear thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to play the Simpsons game. And he's like,
that's not
dog,
what that is.
dog, you can't play that. I was like, it's right there. Like, what the
Give
fuck?
up on
Don't,
this
don't
tree.
tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
man.
tell me like the shit's not there. I'm looking
He's-
at it.
He's like that were you talking about that maze screensaver?
Yeah,
Where you change like
yeah.
the ceiling and like I'm
Oh,
playing this
yeah,
weird
yeah,
version
yeah.
of Doom real quick.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you would run into a brick wall and then the surroundings change, but still a maze. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not impressed after a while, but it was a pretty good
That's a lot of
screensaver.
fucking
Also-
mazes.
Also played the fuck out of like some Doom demo that used to come with a couple of like the laptops. Oh god, that was my shit.
Demos
I
were
never
just
played Doom
my
or any of
shit.
that.
Like in general, like you'd go to like back in the day, especially you go like Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
That's like the only memory I have about Pizza Hut.
God, that fucking demo there.
Like,
was
y'all got a
shit,
pizza?
man.
Here's the demo disc. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah,
Had like the Spyro demo,
Mhm.
the Crash.
Blasto,
Remember having, like,
Metal Gear
medieval.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, medieval.
Dave Mira's thing.
Yeah.
R.I.P. You know, poor bastard.
I forgot about that.
Damn it.
Oh, my bad, y'all.
Yeah, I
The one
forgot
thing-
about that. It's
the
too
one
soon.
thing you weren't supposed to bring up.
Yeah.
I'll be quiet.
He made that Triple X, didn't he? Dave Mirra's Triple X.
You're talking about where it was like
Oh,
adults
we're edgy.
only or something like
Yeah,
that?
it was like
I don't know.
it was a BMX.
I'm gonna look it up.
It was
You-
a
you
a
go to
BMX.
the game store.
But
you
oh,
have
no,
to
wasn't
go
it called-
behind
it was
the
called
I
game.
B-
type in Dave Mira XXX and I see his dick. I'm going to be mad at you.
But the game was called like BMX XXX, right?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm pretty sure,
XXX.
and it was like obviously like
I
wasn't it
know
like
I don't
porn
like
something,
it.
something like that.
No
Yeah.
matter what we find out.
Whatever you find.
There was
like it.
well, like the only reason I remember that is because
was
I used
hard
to
as
I used to
shit.
have Game Informer. Yeah, it's honestly
That one time I was hard
I used
as
to have Game Informer, and there was like a little like ad in there for BMX XXX.
Bad mission.
Don't
Bad
Google that.
mission. Do
Don't
not
Google
Google it. It's not worth it. It's
Alexa,
out there.
what
It
is
happened.
BMX XXX?
Or Google it. I don't know
No.
what you're into.
Yeah.
Would you look up Dave Mirror
No, well, see,
XXX?
the first 3 things are porn sites. So
Oh,
it's like,
okay.
you already
Did you
know it's
spell
not
mirror
a,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
When you
It's
type
like
in Dave,
Dave
M,
Penis
it's like,
XXX.
It's like
it's like one of the first things
bike-centric.
that come up. But yeah, there's hottest XXX sites. There's a Valentine XXX.
That's a niche fucking
And then
Valentine.
Hey, my
only?
bad. Why you want me to
then-
open this?
And I hate to be this person, but there's also a listing for a 2 condo in the Mira residence in Metro Manila. So
Oh.
And they're down for
yeah,
XXX.
For BM
It'll
BMX.
be on
You
And
name it.
Actually, the things don't get any better. The next thing is a is a serial rape case in the UK. So
Nice.
Throw the whole phone away.
yeah, do not type in Dave Mira.
It was definitely a game either way,
It
right?
was-
Did it
it
get
was-
released?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It was
on
no
the dark
good.
on the dark web. But yeah.
He played it at home with his friends.
Yeah.
It was no good. It was
Oh, it
not.
wasn't good?
It was not a very good game at all.
Sounds like
Once-
fan
Yeah,
fiction.
once
And
he
then-
got past the naked bike riders,
Yeah.
really
It's
wasn't
like,
much
oh,
Yeah,
else.
as soon as his tail whips out smacking your dick, you're good.
I almost have a theory that like Tony Hawk told him that he wanted to make a game just like that, but just like
Just to fuck with him.
but then he did it, and fucking Tony Hawk's like, that motherfucker did it, like son of a bitch.
I saw Tony Hawk on a podcast recently, and they asked him how much money he made for that, and he was like, a humbling amount. He was like, more than I thought I'd ever make.
For video games, fuck yeah,
he
dude.
talked about the
Shit.
first check he got for it, but he was like, the game was going to be made without me regardless.
Mhm.
So the fact that I stumbled upon this was like a goal, because he's like, they would have given the game to someone else if I didn't be like, yeah,
Wow.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Bob Burnquist.
They probably would have given it to Bob Burquist.
Bob was like, that's
I don't know
son
why
of
that's
a
the only
bitch.
one I remember, but that was my. I always picked him.
Is that his name?
Rodney Mullen.
Robert Mullen.
Chad
Rodney
Muska.
Mullen.
Chad Muska. That was my
I
shit.
remember like Bob Burnquist and Kareem Campbell.
But shit,
That's-
Bob Burquist is a bad dude. So is Rodney Mullen. Like Rodney Mullen was like one of those first dudes that like he had like the flip tricks on the ground down, like the little finger flips.
Wasn't there Bucky?
Bucky Lassick, yeah,
Bucky
he's
Lassick.
cold as hell.
Yeah,
cold
Bucky
as hell in
Lassick
real
was
life.
fucking dope.
Same tip, like,
Yeah.
with the flip tricks and shit like that on the ground. Yeah, he was sick with it.
I was a straight manual boy. That's all I did. I was like, oh, you want to do a trick challenge? I'm just gonna manual this.
That was.
whole
I
time.
feel like we played
I
it
was like,
one day,
you
and I
Here's
was
the
motherfucker.
thing. I fear. See, I played every Tony Hawk
He'll
to
fuck
completion.
everybody up on Tony
I'm
Hawk. It's
autistic with
unbelievable.
that hoe, bro.
We're gonna try it after this.
Bro, we can.
You
We're gonna
don't
try it.
want
But here's the
these
thing.
problems.
But here's the thing.
I'm gonna try it.
I'll
after
give
this.
you
I
2
can eat
games
this
because
shit.
I haven't played in a while. So I'll give
Alright.
you 2 games, bro.
Alright.
But like once muscle memory comes back, I can't help it if you start crying. I can't help none of. I'm gonna tell you what I told my brothers, bro. Hey, get in back of the line. You're next after the next after the next, bro. All right. I
Yeah.
can't help it.
ugly.
It's
It's
ugly.
ugly.
We played it one day, and I was like, I remember being like, all right, I wasn't that good, but I was like,
Yeah.
I could hold my own. Let's play. And then I was like, nah, fuck that. You do that manual shit, so
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah, you
tricks
do it.
and your manual, so
Yeah,
it keeps
yeah.
going. I'm like,
Yep.
oh, fuck that, I'm out.
That's like
Y'all
combo,
remember
man.
Tech Decks?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I was like really
Tech decks.
shitty at it though. I was like trying to do them.
Yeah, I'm not like. Not only could I not ollie in real life, I can't ollie on my fucking hands. How do they do that?
See,
Like, they
You
just,
just
like-
pick it up.
Yeah, but like
you put your
just
thumb
their
underneath
thumb.
this.
Tech Decks was like the first thing I had stolen from me, and then I was just like, never again, never again.
For tech decks or just
Like,
never again?
so, there's
anybody
never
stealing?
again anything. Like, you know, if you stealing from me, you better run fast, type shit. Like,
Ah.
that was like at a young age. Like I caught someone trying to steal my Pokemon cards from like my backpack during recess, and I was like, you know, you fucked up, right?
Yeah.
I threw that guy off the fucking playground.
Damn.
It was intense. Pokemon
was
cards were
intense.
like really intense. I used to bring my Blastoise. It was just a Blastoise, but I wouldn't take him out.
Yeah.
I was just like, I like the idea of having him just in case like some shit popped off. Like just, I'll keep him in the pencil pouch for now.
That's why I used to keep in my wallet. I don't have it anymore because the cards got all bent. But I used to keep a Blue Eyes and a couple tributes. You know?
That's unbelievable.
A couple trap cards.
Just in case. Just in case. You never know when shit gets serious.
Got the
Yeah.
Charizard
There
right
you
here.
go.
That's it. That's all I got.
You got the inch.
Bam.
Oh shit, he's got the
Mew.
Pikachu coming out.
There you go.
Oh damn.
Been in my last 3 wallets. I don't know if you can tell. In better shape than my social security card.
I don't like people that carry their social security card on them.
I
Why?
don't- that
Oh,
doesn't make
yeah.
sense to me.
I was
What
doing
if
that.
you die?
That's mad. Like
you have
fucking
I'm
dangerous.
dead. I don't give a
and
shit
you're
what happens.
white, so you extra don't need it.
Like that's mad fucking dangerous. It's like
It is.
you're asking to get like your entire fucking life.
So you
stolen
lose your
from
wallet. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
And
this
then
much.
there's the people that put their credit cards and their social security in their phone, like the little
Oh, it's
phone.
all one
Dude, why
package.
would
People
if you
fucking
lose your
lose
phone,
your-
you lose everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so lose your life starter pack.
Yes,
Yeah.
bro. Like your
Yeah.
identity's stolen, man. I work at a store and I see that shit all the time. I see people open up their wallets and their social security card. I'm just like, I saw like the first 8 digits. Like,
That- I'm
Mine
you
is
now.
C9. Mine's hidden.
no, people.
What are
like,
they? Let me see if I can see it.
No. You can guess
Put it up
if
to
you
the
want.
camera like that.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
What do you think,
I'll give
audience?
you this.
Yeah.
I'll give you this. It's 9 numbers.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Damn.
8, 6, 4.
I had
3,
mine
2,
actually in my
1,
wallet for
1,
like since I started this new job.
even close.
Well, it's not
Really?
new, I've been in for
Oh,
a
'cause
year,
you
but
had to
like,
take it,
well, because
huh?
you have to take it, they like make a copy of it or something like that when you start a new job, I guess, or
Oh,
they
I
need
get
they need to see it for some
Yeah.
reason. I'm like, I usually believe it,
Mm.
no. But then one day I realized it was still in there. I was like, fuck, like
Fuck that.
I lose my
I'm
shit
this,
all the
I'm
time.
this guy now.
The job
Mhm.
I had now was supposed to be like that. They were like, oh yeah, you just need to bring this, and then you're good. I never brought any of it in, and they were like, all right, you're hired. And I was
Yeah,
like,
all right,
all
cool.
right, cool.
Do it.
So I did not need to prove that I was a citizen of this. Like, all right, they're gonna cut the check anyway.
Yeah.
Had that job for 3 years. I love it.
Oh man. So a usual, I guess, what is it? Not bit. Segments. Usual segment that we like to go into is how's
Usable
your
or
week?
usual?
Usual.
Okay.
Jesus, this is
It's also
just fucking-
usable.
My bad.
Yeah.
Very
we did,
usable.
We did bring
Yeah, some
40
people
beers.
don't
Yeah,
think it's
you fucking
usable.
brought a whole crate and a half of fucking.
You brought it
beer.
up. I was like, are you supposed to drink all these?
Yeah.
It was free.
I need.
Jesus.
Those aren't all mine. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Another.
Those are all yours, man.
Only 3 of them should be mine. Give
So
me
we
one
like
of
to
them.
do a how's your week segment,
Okay.
but this is us asking y'all how's your week.
How's my week?
Yeah, how's your week? How are y'all doing?
Go ahead, bro.
How are y'all doing?
It's been a lot of selling beer and then going home and tie-dyeing shirts. It's been hectic.
Tie-dyeing
as fuck.
shirts.
Show them your hands,
Oh,
man.
yeah. You can't see it on camera.
Yeah, I can't even see it.
It's
I'm gonna edit in your fucking
Yeah,
tie-dye
it's
hands.
just like
it's like
hypnotizing.
pouring paint over the
Yeah.
hand blue,
And then a very happy Papa Smurf because it looks like he just both handed Papa Smurf.
which I did. That's the only way to tie-dye shirts properly.
Yeah.
That's the good.
People
ink.
don't know that.
It's the good ink.
That's why they're so expensive online.
Mm.
And so, yeah, it's just been sleeping a lot less than usual, but it was good. Work week was good. And then
the shirts for any particular reason you're doing.
Yeah,
it
we're
for-
gonna make. People keep asking us to tie dye shirts. We did 2 different ones, or well, we did the same design, but did 2 rollouts of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he just
dope.
did that. We did 2 rollouts of tie dye shirts last year, and people loved it like more than I expected.
Hmm.
No
So like
shit.
the first time, I think we made like 20 shirts total,
Mm.
and then people like they were sold out the first time we brought them out. Like, oh shit, okay, we got to tie dye stuff, and then we just hadn't. And people keep asking us and DMing us like, when are you gonna tie dye shirts again? Like, I think it's about time.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Write that down.
Yeah.
Tie-dye
People-
shirt now.
People
like-
love tie dye. That's a big fact.
I guess
How's
I'll just
your-
keep tie dyeing shirts until people don't like them anymore.
How's your week is like weirdly like hard to do. Like I know we do it every week,
Yeah.
but I'm always like, shit, I don't know. Went to work, like it like
Yeah,
it
it's
catches
hard
me
to
off
fucking
guard
do.
every time for some reason. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You go through so much every day,
Yeah.
and then when it comes down to like,
How was
Give
your
you the
week?
entire-
I just start
Yeah,
crying. Like,
synopsis.
yeah.
How much
I'm
time you got, man?
Yeah.
Fine.
Stop blowing your nose in
It
your
turns
shirt.
into
Yeah.
it turns into that fucking 19-minute song that we just talked about.
Yeah, goddamn right. My week was pretty good. I worked a lot because I didn't work a lot last week. I picked up shifts so I can do things last
Mhm.
week.
Yeah, I got you.
So I've been, can we say DP'd on this pod? I've been DP'd by work.
Yeah.
Google it.
Google it along with that BMX XXX.
Yeah.
and normally
Oh, man.
DPing is not in his contract. But
No,
like
yeah.
you said, he took a couple shifts.
I,
off
I
last
took I
week.
took one for the team. Yeah, so I've been working a lot.
Took 2 for the team.
Listening
But,
listening
It's a
to.
long
Oh
ass
my
fuck.
god! I was looking at it. I was looking at it. I was
Honestly.
like, damn.
Want to take a timeout real quick. 'Cause I want to say shout out to Magnolia's Ice Cream for supplying us with some
Oh,
snacks.
you're gonna bite it
Jesus
off?
Christ.
I got it out.
For supplying us with some snacks for this week's episode. These guys came through, gave us chamoy laced fucking
Laced.
Don't say
Gave-
laced. I shouldn't be the one to
Chamoy.
tell you this. Don't say lace.
They gave us chamoy covered gummy bears.
I shouldn't be the one to tell you this. They're chamoy laced, but then they're also acid doused.
Yeah, most that. And then also the chamoy covered sour. I think they're sour punch straws. We'll go with that. So shout out to Magnolia's Ice Cream, guys. Go check them out.
Where they at?
They're fucking dope. I really should have looked that up. I'll put the.
You're gonna edit it.
Put that shit right there.
They're in Magnolia, damn.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
What's with the third degree?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, really should have looked that
The
up.
dress
before I
is
did
on your
this.
hand.
Like that's the only thing that sucks about like having my phone taken up by like the
Yeah.
GoPro is like
If you need me to look up something, bro,
I would have like.
You got the
know
computer
what,
right here too, right?
No, because I can't do a shit with it. Like,
It's
like
called
I'm
Magnolia
telling you.
what? Sorry, I'm looking at all
That's
this
what
porn right now.
Magnolia's Ice Cream and more.
In a haunted condo for sale.
It's in East of yeah, like
Dave
East,
Mira's
East
condo
Houston.
for sale.
I'm sorry, Magnolia
Ice
cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
That's the one luxury we have with doing the podcast. Is, like, it's live on
Yeah.
my phone, so I just set it in the middle, and like it didn't click until like I don't know the 40th
that
time
sound about
doing
right?
it. But
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Tell
Check
them
them
where
out.
it's at.
Check them out. 6421 Brady Street, Houston.
boom.
Houston, Texas. There it is.
But yeah, my week was straight.
They could have just looked it up themselves. Like, oh, Magnolia, it's not that hard.
I'm gonna put it on the thing.
That's
I'll put it on
that's
the
the
thing.
age we live in.
Yeah, self-serve. We got to serve these people. You know, what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
honestly.
You can't tell them that something.
Every scene
Especially
of
in
the show is
Houston.
a clickable link.
You can't just tell
Write it
people
down.
good things are out there because then people are so lazy. Like, well, if it's so good, why don't you
Yeah.
tell me?
Fucking
What's good?
tell me. Yeah, that's why I feel so bad every
Why
time.
did they
I was
tell
like,
me the
fuck.
directions that from my house?
Yeah, right.
Why didn't you just take me there, clear my schedule this weekend,
Pick me up.
and make sure I could be there?
Why don't
Yeah.
you just go and pick me up? Son?
You
That's
didn't
a
pay
special
$4
Uber
for my
Eats.
ticket to that show.
You said they gave them to you, so technically, like, you can afford to get me some, right?
Jesus. That'd be the fucking
That's
worst.
people.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway,
it.
That's why we don't need to have a little
I was-
comment section.
Yeah. My week was good, man. You know, a lot of self realization about some things.
Oh,
Is
Like
it
what?
because of the Mercury that Mercury shit?
You talking about Mercury retrograde or
Yeah,
something?
retrograde. I feel like
I don't know.
everybody and their
Is
fucking
that,
mom.
is that a rapper?
I'm a
Everybody-
Pisces. I don't know what
Everybody
you're
and their
talking
fucking
about.
mom has been on this like
Oh,
Mercury retrograde is like fucking.
I don't know what
That's
that
what's
is.
causing my
yeah.
whatever.
So, and then it's
Blessed,
also
my beloved.
and then they're also on the shit to where it's like, if you've been not yourself lately,
Yeah.
it's because of the
hate
Mercury
that shit.
retrograde,
Well, it's
and
'cause you
everybody's going
suck.
through.
Yeah.
Everybody's
I think I
about to be
smoked some
reborn.
Mercury retrograde,
Dude.
but I didn't
Fuck,
fucking,
man!
yeah,
Like
I don't
I'm
know.
like taking a shit at work. I'm just like, what the fuck is this talking about? Like
This is a better shit than normal.
yeah.
That's Mercury
But
retrograde.
apparently-
Stop praying.
But apparently, everybody's on that. Like, you're about to be reborn. So if you haven't been
feel like-
yourself, they're called
Oh,
birthing
shit.
pains.
I think I was Ridicade or
Eradicated.
What?
I think I have midichlorians.
I think
don't know.
I think I was eradicated.
Yeah.
I feel like this shit happens all the time, and like they blame everything on. If you've been in a bad mood, that's a Mercury retrograde. I'm like,
Yeah.
the fuck ever.
What is that supposed to be?
Yeah, I don't
Aren't
know.
those supposed to be solstices?
I don't know. Isn't there like a big eclipse coming soon or
You,
something like
you
that?
can't have
Yeah.
it if you're pregnant. I know that.
All I know is that like every time I tell people that like I'm a Gemini, they're always like, "Man, you're a piece of shit person." I'm like, "Well,
You're
I
the
got-
one who
all
kind
right,
of just
then.
rushed to
I got called out.
judgment.
fuck."
I got called out recently because I told someone I was like a something. Just because I don't believe in that type of shit.
Ah.
So when that season was coming around, they're like, "Hey, when's your birthday?" And I was like, "March." And they're like, "What?" And I was
That's a
like,
Taurus, you
"Oh,
son of a bitch."
It's a Pisces.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Fucker.
Yeah.
That's why.
I'm
Yeah,
not saying
we're-
I don't
we're
care,
liars.
but don't you dare get me
Yeah.
twisted, bro.
We're liars because we're Pisces.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
No, I don't.
What's
but
up with
I mean,
Tauruses?
made
I'm a
it up.
Taurus.
It's that
Yeah.
easy.
None of that
Well,
shit matters to me.
it's so
like,
vague.
because you can tell someone like, "Oh, I'm a this," and then they go, "Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense." Oh, Frank, that's why you wear glasses.
Yeah.
I-
Classic Taurus can't see shit.
I have got
You
a
wear
fortune
pants?
cookie.
You wear
that
pants
you
every
would
day?
Just get.
Yeah, do you wear pants and a t-shirt every day?
Did you
You
fart
do.
today?
Yeah.
You showed up to work on time, didn't you? Huh, you Taurus piece of shit. Yeah, you would do something like
Yeah.
that.
That's the shit with like when I read them, I can't help but look at it and think, damn,
It's the most
that's
generic
me.
shit.
Like, it's like generic
But
enough.
read the other ones.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
swear to
That-
God,
I
you'll
could
feel
be
the
any
exact
one of 'em.
same way.
That's
You
the
feel
exact-
frustrated.
that's
So
the
I'm
exact
like,
strategy.
I
yeah.
am frustrated.
That's
Work
the
sucks
that's the
today.
exact strategy that like all those fucking like mediums like
Mhm.
follow. They're just like I'm getting a bill.
Yeah,
No, I'm getting a Jack. Anybody
Do you
Jack?
mean
That's
Jim?
leading
Yeah, Jim.
questions
I have
for
a
them to
dad
tell
named
you the
Jack.
answer.
I have my last name is Jackson. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, boom.
All right, I'm sensing a male
Your ghost is a
figure.
motherfucker. You said Sam Jackson. I put two and two together.
You know, you remember when South Park made fun of how Family Guy writes, where they just
Yeah.
go and find random ideas with those manatees
With the
or
fucking
whatever?
manatees, yeah.
It's pretty much that. It's just a bunch of buzzwords, and it's like, oh, you're a Cancer, all right, and
Yeah.
this like caring.
It was
Doesn't
like
really
this-
trust other people.
Like a big ass,
Also,
like, balls.
not caring. So
You brought up Family Guy, and this is just something that I thought about right now, and y'all can edit this out if this isn't in the bag of y'all's podcast.
Here we go.
But
have y'all
Now
watched
you talk
Family
about
Guy
dumb
porn?
kids.
but how come King of the Hill doesn't have porn, but Family Guy does? No,
it does.
Like Lois is always
it
like
does.
getting it in the fucking like little ads on top.
Yeah. What the fuck is that?
But Peggy's never getting it.
I want to spa peg her with meatballs. is all I'm
You cut that part out.
That's getting cut out. God damn.
It's just spaghetti and meatballs, Peggy. It's not that special.
I like how
Minute 26.
Garrett talks about
First
people
edit.
eating on the mic.
He's eating the
You're
shit
right.
out of him.
And everybody, I hate when people eat on the mic. He's over here. Yeah, no one can hear you, Garrett.
You're fucking eating the
The
fuck
more
out
I
of
think
that
about it, it's
fucking-
been like 5 minutes. I'm like,
Yeah, you just been going at
And we
it.
watched
Those
you.
are
We
good.
watched you pull like a really.
That's how good
Like, you
Magnolia's
should have
ice
stopped
cream shit
eating.
is.
You should have stopped eating when you had to bite it off of the fucking ball.
To clear that up, it came out itself. I bit, and I was like, "No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be gross." And then I
Yeah, that's
pulled
why
it down.
That's why no one's eating
No
that one
one else
anymore.
ate
So you can go ahead, put it right there.
I've been watching the levels over here, just like fucking going up and down.
Can you hear us or not? I don't know what's going on.
With
But
every
what
fucking-
I was gonna ask
I was
how's your
you
opinion?
called me on that shit.
Is it what is y'all's opinion on this James Gunn situation?
You know what?
man.
That's one of the things
We're
we're
gonna talk about it eventually, yeah.
Okay.
honestly. So the whole James Gunn situation, for those of you that don't know it, that's listening right now.
Closer, man.
God damn it. I was
I feel like
I'm taking everybody to know.
So-
Yeah, you're perfect.
so-
I'm real close to
So
like.
definitely the James Gunn situation. He's been fired from Disney, so he's not gonna make the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 anymore.
For now.
But as of right now, he's not, and this was all due because of some tweets that were found of his 10 years ago, right?
Yeah,
And they're just like
he already apologized for it.
yeah, that he's already addressed. He's already apologized for, and no, Disney's so far sticking strong to like firing this dude.
And so what made me think of that is we're talking about Family Guy, and it's like, what is the difference between those little jokes?
We were
I don't
talking about
And
Carl
here's the thing-
earlier.
And here's the thing, James Gunn, he's talked about it. Like those
Yeah.
those tweets were meant in poor taste.
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah.
like those were meant to be bad jokes.
Well, like the
so
thing.
so Family Guy, has been on
Mhm.
again. After they got canceled, they've been on since 2005. So that's over 10 years that they've been doing the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What is the difference?
just as fucking crass and just like in your face with
Yeah.
that shit.
If not worse.
Yeah,
If worse.
yeah.
No, worse.
Honestly,
Yeah.
and then it just God, man, that shit really fucking bothers me because it's like, go ahead.
I go ahead and finish, and then I very feel like I strongly feel something about this. So go ahead,
I just
man.
think like so this guy's he's already apologized for it, but he's also very like open with not being ashamed of it. He's more of like, hey man, that's just who I kind of was like as an artist back then.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't say he wasn't
really,
ashamed.
Yeah, yeah.
He apologized
I'm
before
sure,
the
like-
first
Well,
Guardians came
yeah.
out.
No,
about these
like,
tweets already. You
but
know?
he
but
produced an
he-
entire
he-
scene where he
but-
shamed himself
But, like,
walking down the street.
My thing with that is that
Himself.
like as an artist, as somebody who really who's a fucking movie director,
Yeah.
he's like when I was younger, like I was really into like being this shock value sort of guy, and so that's the type of person I was then. Now I've grown into something better, and I've grown into like making movies that like mean a lot to other people that also mean a lot to me,
Yeah.
and that to me was like really fucking nice how he's like kind of put that into perspective. He's like, yeah, I'm growing as an artist, like that's just how I am.
Yeah.
And but for fucking the studio to come by and just like, now we're gonna cut ties with you. I'm like, fuck, have y'all not realized like Robert Downey Jr. is like fucking
Well,
Your
no,
biggest
done
star.
some- yeah.
Look at the precedent that was set with Roseanne. Like
Yeah.
she literally had the most like expensive tweet of all time
yeah.
because she literally tweeted not one. She's crazy as fuck. Don't get me
Oh
wrong.
yeah, she is.
And I'm not gonna lie, she has dissociative personality disorder. It's not an excuse for what she said. I'm just
Yeah.
There's some context that needs to be understood with why she has those videos. She's like, I thought the bitch was wild.
Yeah, dude, she's fucking nuts.
I didn't even give
Dude.
those videos the time of day because at this point we already knew how Roseanne felt about this and
so,
that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
so
she
it's
was
like
already-
anything past that is just overkill.
She was already off
Yeah.
the deep end.
Yeah.
And I have a whole other thought on that, but it's like where she had the most expensive tweet where so many people got fired or lost their job because she was fired. And so then the thing about the James Gunn thing is what you're seeing right now is politically. I feel like this will be more boring or worse to talk about than bringing up the tweets if we read them verbatim.
No, we're not.
But if you look politically at what's happening is, so what happened first was a bunch of people, I don't stand by what they tweeted, but a bunch of people had racist or misogynistic or whatever tweets that happened in their past, or they said them yesterday.
Yeah.
Either way, poorly judged tweets.
Yeah.
But they were more conservative, Republican style people. So then they were able to be tied with.
Yep.
And so now, and I'm not applauding them,
It's
but
one
I
of
am
those eye
pointing.
for an eye.
Well, I'm
things where-
pointing out exactly what is happening, where because they're celebrating themselves for doing it. The very far right wing people right now are going, okay, who do we go after next? Because we already got James Gunn fired from Disney.
Gunn. Yeah.
Fuck, dude, they might find tweets God said that, and they're like, yo, hold up, maybe this Jesus fella, and then they find his tweet. And they're like,
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it, let's start the whole thing over again.
Dude.
Donald Trump's God.
They got Al
Not
Franken.
true.
They got Al Franken to resign, and again, this is one of those moments where when I speak about it, I'm not saying like I condone what he did or whatever the fuck, but he had his hands over this woman's breast, and he felt it was his. He needed to resign.
So what was that situation with that? Because I think
the Al Franken that was just it.
It was poor timing
Poor timing
and poor taste.
because
that's the dude that had that's
he
the
was
stupid thing that
he was
yeah.
on the GOP's ass.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Because, like, almost everything he asked all these Trump nominees were going viral because he was just... because he is a comedian. He was a comedian first. So, like, he has this cadence where he kind of sounds condescending, but it's only condescending if you don't know how to answer the question.
Yeah.
So it's like, they had to come after him, and then this picture came out with the, with the woman, and then he, amicably, he resigned.
Yeah.
We got a whole president.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
what the
dude,
fuck
that
I've
thing.
been saying. And then that's why a lot of people are like,
The only
oh,
thing,
that's just locker room talk. So
Yeah.
what the fuck? I'm just like...
and I'm pretty sure Trump's never played a fucking sport in his life,
Yeah.
bro. So I don't know what locker room
Like only
he's been
golfing,
in.
that's it. But,
Yeah, other than golfing, I don't think he's really been in a locker room
the thing
before.
when I was thinking about the James Gunn thing is like these are obviously like really like tasteless jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah, most
I don't
of
know how you don't see it as man, these are just like kind of crass jokes that he was making, and that was his thing though. He
That
was
was his
like
thing.
into provoking, like
Yeah.
I'm pushing the envelope. I feel like Disney themselves have like a weird history where I don't know, like they're trying to have a fucked up past too.
No,
that like
hey,
we're new and
Walt
progressive.
Disney.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So like,
Yeah.
how
He was
can
an
their whole
anti-Semite,
how
yeah.
can their whole thing be like, but we're different now,
Yeah,
but
And
like
doesn't
this guy,
Disney own
yeah.
ABC,
Yeah.
and ABC was the host to Roseanne's show.
That's what I'm saying. There's a whole
Yeah.
shit where I feel
Or
like
is it CBS?
unfair
No,
towards
ABC,
James
yeah.
Gunn.
So.
No, yeah, ABC owned. They ran that, and then they're bringing that. They're not bringing it back, but they're doing the Connors. That's gonna be the.
Yeah,
I like that
Roseanne's-
just 'cause
Roseanne spinoff.
I like John Goodman, so I was just like,
I
man,
love
I-
John Goodman.
I love.
feel
I
bad
also-
for
I also
everybody on
love-
there.
I also love fucking his response. He was just like, well, like I was gonna fucking win an Emmy for that show anyway. So
Yeah.
what do you want me to do? You
I
know?
didn't see that. That's
Yeah,
great.
he was just like, what do you want me to fucking do? I don't
I
want to
think-
say anything else.
What needs to happen is two things. Is one, if you strongly feel hardcore about certain political issues, Twitter is probably not your platform or your soapbox to stand
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess it's fourth. No, that's not your soapbox. And then also the other thing is maybe we shouldn't be reading this deeply into people's tweets,
Dude, yeah, that's
Like I
On
get
and
it.
off though, because there's some people that's how they get their word.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's like their official statement.
Like I
type
might
thing.
be an actor on
It
this show, but this is what I
doesn't-
really feel.
Yeah.
It's just Twitter has just become too much. I love Twitter personally for the jokes,
Mhm.
but then if you look at like where those seeded jokes are coming, like where the seed of those jokes are coming from, it's like we were talking about Boot Gang before the fucking podcast.
Dude, oh my god.
This guy's a heroin addict. I don't know how I feel about him, but also I know from the get he should have never been famous.
Yeah.
The guy should have never had a no jumper interview. But he should have never had more money than people
He got
deserve
famous
more
off.
money.
He got famous off of like stealing shit on Instagram.
And we like the entire
legit
his video
stealing
where-
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, my bad.
Hey, he wasn't legit. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
but
the
like,
first, like,
but
that was
maybe
like the first.
five,
But
yeah.
that was like his whole
I thought you
thing.
meant like repost and shit like
No,
that.
no.
And honestly,
But-
the only people I've seen survive with this whole gimmick idea of like how they became famous is
Catch Me Outside, girl.
no Knick Knack Paddywhack and
Baby
and the
yourself.
dude who
No,
dances.
but the Catch Me Outside, girl, bro. She got famous off the internet, and she is making a lot of money,
She's
bro.
fucking-
Okay,
she's-
sorry, I
yeah.
meant people who survived and continue to do what they started doing.
Yeah,
like, what
she
got
was
them famous.
living off of
Yeah.
like.
Now she
Nah.
was a hood.
No, I know she like
baby.
she's got her
Now
own
she's
like record
touring,
deal and
bro.
shit
Yeah,
now.
she's touring.
But are people into it? Like people
Yeah.
showing
Yeah,
up to
dude. People are into that shit. That's what I'm telling
Like,
you.
that's like
Bro,
people that
one
want to
of-
make what's her name, Kylie Jenner, the like first young
Oh,
billionaire
fuck,
or whatever,
man.
Well,
where
hold
people
on.
I
are
don't even
donating money to her.
But
I
then
don't even-
Kylie Jenner set that up. Also,
That's
and
true.
this is the
That
biggest-
is
people
funny.
themselves
this is the
doing
big,
that.
No, the biggest point is if you care about it, or like if you mind how much money she's made, why? Boom, why? Why do you care? And then like go into yourself on why that
But I
is,
feel like I don't
because-
care if she's a billionaire. I don't like when people are just, I gotta donate so she becomes the billionaire.
No,
That's
that
what-
was all
what
a
the
joke.
fuck?
That was
Yeah.
all a joke.
That's not like a
But-
real
but-
thing that's happening.
No, it happened, but that was
I
a
feel
joke.
like-
That was like she
They
didn't
were.
set that up.
I'm saying.
But people were more mad about the whole like self-made millionaire thing.
No, yeah.
I'm not.
Mhm.
What? The girl's made makeup. She's done a bunch of things.
Yeah.
A bunch of things that I'm not doing.
Mhm.
And a bunch of things that we're not doing.
Speak for yourself, Carlos.
yeah, we had that special makeup line.
Yeah.
Frankie's eyeshadow.
Yeah. Got my wings.
Got my tits.
You want these lashes?
Yeah.
You want these fucking lashes? No, but yeah.
Speak
But
for me,
Well, it ain't
dog.
cheap.
I'm taking this shit off.
I put it out there. I was just like, yo, I bet you like. I don't even know which is it Kendall, Kylie, which one is it? Kylie, I bet you she's not like at home like, oh, all these people on Facebook hate me and now
No,
I'm cutting
she's
myself.
not.
Like, no,
No.
she doesn't care.
Fuck no.
I
Why
wouldn't
do
give a
you-
shit
why do
at
you,
all.
Why do you care? She doesn't care about you. Why do you
Mhm.
care?
Yeah.
Why, like if you like her, that's cool. But why do you care enough as an adult to hate on
Yeah.
a woman that's
Yeah.
making money?
I don't get why people don't scroll past things more often.
Yeah,
Everyone thinks they have to comment on the topic of the
Because
day.
they have so many platforms to do
Bro,
it. This is
yeah.
some shit that we've like talked about already, but like
But bro, my,
there's so many platforms for people to like just put
Care.
whatever the fuck they want out in the world. And like
Yeah.
as long as you have like a Facebook, you got Twitter, Instagram, anything, people are gonna continue to just push all the shit that they want.
Internet's changing everything, man.
Dude,
Well,
it
so,
is.
like
my-
literally, the internet accidentally elected a president.
Yeah, most definitely.
And not accidentally. I mean, someone had a hand in it.
but
Mother
okay,
Road.
so,
Yeah.
But like that shit happens all of the time. Like people base opinions on things that they have no idea about because someone
people
on the
base
internet did a
opinions
little
based on
2 minute
opinions.
two minute exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So someone watched a 2 minute video on someone's opinion. Now that's their opinion
That's
on
fact.
something. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how they feel about it.
Mhm.
Like that's some like that's like some low grade Fox News shit. Like
We did an episode 2 episodes ago about the whole Tyler Perry shit that was going on.
yeah.
The Tyler Perry like, oh, he's like giving away like $1 million or something.
Yeah.
He's like, you just gotta share and like this video.
The biggest scams.
Fucking Tyler Perry had to make a video. It's like, stop sharing.
Yeah.
Stop
I ain't giving away
sharing.
shit.
Yeah, I'm not giving away anything. He said it himself. He went on record and saying that like him and his like team
Yeah.
shut down 20 to 30 of those Tyler Perry pages like a day.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
A day.
Okay.
That's how many fucking people are doing this, and that's how many people are falling for it. And I was like, Jesus
It's like that
Christ.
that swimsuit page last year. All those women were sharing. It was like, share this image and you get this free, Swimco swimsuit. And every woman that had a body was sharing this.
Are you serious?
And it was like it was such an obvious scam. But
Mhm.
like everyone was like, free swimsuit, I'm in. It didn't even look good.
That's
Nah,
that's the crazy
dude.
part is like I guess we kind of are like wise to these are scams or these
Yeah.
are whatever, but there's so many people out
People
there like
really
they see it and they're like,
Yeah.
holy shit, like I gotta
Yeah.
get in on this.
You see it at so many different levels. Like, so my dad last night, he was watching the NFL Network, and they brought up Jimmy Garoppolo.
Garoppolo, he's dating a porn
Janine
star.
Garofalo.
Yeah, I was like, that's a
Yeah.
comedian.
Ruffalo.
Yeah, okay. he's not even dating her. You want a date with her? And my dad goes, I don't get why a young guy. And I go, I'm gonna cut you off there. Why do you care? Why?
I can tell you why.
No.
Smack them cheeks.
No, I said.
Smack them cheeks.
I said, why do you care?
Yeah.
Do you know Jimmy Garoppolo?
Do you know the
porn
porn
star?
Dad, do you know the porn star?
But I was like, what?
Dad, do you
when
know the porn
Hey, he was calling him Jimmy Garoppolo, but like he was getting her name right
I was
on.
like, yo, when you wake up tomorrow, will this matter at all? Like, and it won't. And then you look at what other things people care about, and that is what sparked this whole idea to bring back the James Gunn point, and not to single out James Gunn, but that's what has brought this entire idea of you see it today, so you care.
Yeah.
Recency bias.
If you just literally scroll past it. Like, because I've told my dad...
Read the real news.
My dad...
You might be shocked about what's going on.
I'm not going to lie, though.
Some real shit there.
I can understand where... I'm not going to say the phrase fake news, but I can say where people mistrust news networks.
Yeah.
Because you understood as a little while there, CNN was your news net. Like, you went there because it was boring, because it was fucking news. But now you look, and they are literally competing with another network, Fox News, who is doing the same thing on their own...
sensationalizing
but
news,
it's their own version of they know what the people care about, so they're gonna put it
alternative
twist
truth.
So then there people are like, I can't wait to see what Fox News is gonna say about it. I was like, you know what the fuck they're gonna say about it? They're pro-Trump, and that's all they're gonna do because they think that CNN is anti-Trump.
It's just the fucking state that like everybody's entering.
Yeah, my dad watches
100%.
Fox News, and whenever I walk in the house, he's embarrassed, so he leaves. Or like, he changes the channel.
No, he's embarrassed because he voted for Trump.
And then also he listens to Sports 740 when he rides home, which by the way isn't sports. They literally are just two white dudes or whoever the fuck hosts those shows, but they're just right-wing conservative people that talk about sports and then tie politics into it. And so I told him, I was like, Dad, I'm not telling you listen to CNN or watch CNN. Yeah. I'm saying find a honest news network to receive your news.
Was that AM 1590? No, I'm kidding.
I don't know.
No, that was Radio
that
Disney.
Disney Channel.
That was Radio Disney.
But I was like, I told him, I was like, Dad, you're a smart person.
I have a whole conspiracy about that. Don't even get me started.
I think
this
there's
whole
a
Demi Lovato thing. I don't know what she
What?
piss off Disney, but...
Mickey Mouse is like, you're done.
I think there's a lot of smart people out there that are being misguided by opinions. And then they form those opinions on those opinions.
Yeah. That's the
That's the thing with like
one of the biggest problems right now.
And then all of a sudden, you highlight moments.
It's a black hole.
You highlight moments, and you go, "We need to throw this whole person away."
Yeah.
And instead, and then you almost create more horrible moments.
Yeah.
All right. So going back. Sorry guys, we had to break for a couple of seconds. A couple people had to.
When you drink enough beer,
yeah, definitely.
you gotta pee.
Yeah, we had to cool off. So either way, I want to get into this film that I saw this past week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I should have told y'all to watch it.
Was it called Dave Mirra Triple X?
No.
Vin Diesel.
That was yesterday. I said this week.
Freestyle.
Doesn't matter if you win by an inch or
an inch or an ollie.
Give me some of that ollie, bro. Come on, that's some.
The bunny hop. Dog.
I don't care.
That bunny hop. Bunny hop.
Come on, you ruined the pace of the joke, man.
Start all over.
Yeah.
All right.
And
we're back.
Yeah. Sorry about that. So
breaking news.
The movie that I'm talking about is a movie called How It Ends, and it's a Netflix original. It's
Netflix spent money on it.
It is they spent a shit ton of money on it. This is definitely one of those movies. It's first of all, it's a end of the world film.
Okay.
All right. You guys have seen the trailer. If you haven't seen the trailer at home, go ahead and watch it and just watch
cut
that.
Your ties, yeah.
Just watch that.
A mountain is crumbling as
he
drives away from it.
Yeah. Oh, this is gonna contain spoilers too.
Did he get away from the mountain crumbling?
That's the ending.
I knew it.
That's what I said. The all right.
That's the end of the trailer.
I'm gonna Tarantino this shit, and I'm gonna tell. Okay, so the movie kicks off.
After the first segment of the show, please don't Tarantino this shit and just proudly say the N word.
Yeah, exactly.
Hard R and all.
Do you see a sign outside? Watch Pulp Fiction. Regardless, so the movie kicks off.
Heroin also. But,
yeah, most def. That shit kicks off with this generic no-name actor. He's a
Johnny. What's his name?
Very very young white guy. He is dating this girl, and he's talking on the phone with her. He's like, "I'm having that dinner with your parents tomorrow. So like, what's up?" Apparently, there's like him and his fiance's dad don't get along. Fiance's dad is Forrest Whitaker.
Classic.
Shout out to
Have-
Forrest Whitaker. That shit's dope.
Have the
What shit?
Based
Him
on
in
what you
general?
know,
or
Him
just
in general.
Forrest
Okay.
Whitaker's
Yeah, I
just
was
a
like,
dope
because you
guy.
said the
He's a
movie
dope
shit,
dude.
but
has
Sal
the
Guerrero.
fiance met the parents yet before
Yeah,
this day?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Ooh.
So throughout the film, there's this weird thing. It's like, God, I just want to tell him about the boat incident, and like, don't bring up the boat incident. So I'm gonna get through that in a bit. So he has a dinner with the parents. Lo and behold, shit doesn't go great because him and Forrest Whitaker get into this weird fucking argument. Next day,
Race
wakes up.
wars.
He's trying to get a flight home because he's in New York for business, and that's where her family lived or something. And so he's trying to get a flight home. Some shit goes down. All the flights are canceled. Everybody's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" So the world's basically fucking something's happening in the world. You don't know what it is, but like people are fucking like that. All flights are you can't fly anywhere. People are leaving the city, New York City, so that shit's mad packed. So then Forrest Whitaker's like, "I'm gonna go get my daughter from like California. Are you coming with me or not?"
Cross country.
And the guy's like, "All right." So then it becomes this like road trip movie between like the dad and the fiance to
That
go
is
get the
not
daughter.
How I read the trailer.
So
what?
So
That's
so,
what the trailer says.
So it's
One
Forrest
man.
Whitaker.
It's
It's
called
Forrest
Two
Whitaker.
Brothers.
Yeah.
I'll say this: Forrest Whitaker is the only likable character in this fucking movie.
He was also
You
the
mean
most
the
paid.
guy they blew the budget on?
yeah, the only likable fucking person
Yeah,
because
what-
the guy who you're supposed to be rooting for is the fiance. He's
Nah.
the most
Is that the guy
worthless.
driving
He
away at the end of the
seemed-
trailer?
Yeah, he is the fucking
Oh, he
worst.
dies then, yeah, because they're
Yeah.
not making that movie
He
again.
is the worst fucking person
Well,
ever.
he
He
seemed too
just
opinionated with no ground to stand
dude.
on.
He makes the dumbest fucking decisions throughout the entire film. He's like, at one point, he's trying to call his fiance while they're stopped at like I don't know fucking Walmart, and these dudes come up.
Need
They're like
anything?
these dudes come up. They're like, "Hey man, let me see the keys to your car." So they try to start to steal the car. He's like, "Oh no, please!" And then Forrest Whitaker comes out. He's like, "Oh, what's happening here?" And the guys have
Oh
like
God!
pipes.
Look at his eye.
Yeah.
He has nothing to lose.
And so the guys
Look at the
have
back of
pipes.
his neck.
The guys have pipes, and they're just like, "Give me the keys." He's like, "All right." He's like, "I'll give you the keys." He's like, "But they're in the trunk or some shit." I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
So he opens the trunk, and lo and behold, he pulls out a fucking gun.
Of
Well, like
course.
the main character guy, he's like, "What the fuck? You should have told me you had a gun." And the
That
Forrest
was, in
Whitaker's
the
like,
trailer. That was in the trailer. We saw
Forrest
that
Whitaker's
part.
like, as a viewer, I'm like, it's the fucking end of the world. Why would you not have a gun?
Yeah.
And it's this running theme that the guy doesn't like guns for some fucking reason, and then he doesn't
And
like
he's white, so it's
he
kind of weird.
doesn't and he doesn't know how to use one. So at one point they get into a chase with like a guy who's pretending to be a cop, and he's chasing them, and Forrest Whitaker's like, "Grab the gun," and the dude's like, "I don't know what to do," and like,
Is this the way?
fuck, man.
What a
I'm like, how
horrible
are you not?
plot line?
God, it was fucking stupid. On
You
top
don't know
of
how to
that,
use
Did you
a
ever
gun.
play the-
It's not like a
on-
50 caliber sniper
dude,
rifle.
it was
It's
a straight
fucking
point it
handgun.
that
It's
way
like-
It's a
and, like,
fucking
squeeze.
handgun. Oh, he didn't know how to load it. He's like, he puts it in. He's like, it's not shooting. Forrest
He's
Whitaker's like,
it's not shooting.
yeah. And Forrest Whitaker's like, you got to pull the thing back.
Give me your good
Did you ever-
eye.
At that point, I thought it was pretty funny because like it almost seemed like Forrest Whitaker was like, just pull the fucking thing back. Like, pull the
Just let that
fucking-
thing
yeah.
go.
Yeah. And
Did
then,
you ever play the Telltale Walking Dead game?
Yeah,
Like the first
yeah.
one where you try to teach Clementine how to shoot the gun.
Yeah,
That's how you're making it sound. But even then, she picked up on it pretty quick.
Yeah, dude. This shit
Backhand
was.
her with the shotgun.
Yeah.
Say, you
God.
don't get this yet?
Needless to say, fucking Forrest Whitaker gets shot by the cops. Of course he does.
I figured he died if he told me Homeboy was driving away. At the end.
He gets shot like in the stomach, so he's alive throughout like almost the rest of the film. But then you know, like him and the fiance get close, and then before Forrest Whitaker dies, like they have like this like
Spoilers.
bonding moment. So
Yes.
Forrest Whitaker's dead at this point. The guy catches up to his fiance who managed to escape because of their neighbor because they lived in like a condo or something. And then it
Condo
turns
people
out,
are the
and then it
worst.
turns out,
And she's pregnant, right?
yeah, she's pregnant. And then
Little
it,
Forrest?
and then,
Little
and then,
Forrest?
and then it turns out that the narrator or the neighbor that helped her escape has like some
Narrator?
some sort of like
The
obsession with her.
narrator was in on it.
Have some sort of like obsession with her. So
Yeah.
then, of course, like him and the fiance like clash at one point. The
course.
dude shoots him and like because he finally learned how to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
a gun.
He
was
learned
this
how
big
to do
moment,
I
it.
like
yeah.
guns now.
Yeah, and
They
we
call
already
it
talked
it was
safety
about
sponsored by
because
NRA.
no
You
one's
know,
safe.
so then they start driving off because shit's like they see like this huge
The
cloud of
cloud,
smoke, and they drive off, and then like him and his fiance are like, "Are we gonna make it?" And he's like, "Yeah, we are." And then they share a kiss, and it's that last fucking scene you see in the trailer.
It
That's how
takes a
ends.
hero to save us.
God,
Driving
dude,
away.
it was the fucking most garbage piece of shit movie I've ever.
It was like
fucking
last
seen.
week, I think, that I told you before we started the episode. I was like, "Hey, man,
Yeah,
that
it
movie
looks
right
cool.
there, the trailer's playing. I told you that shit looks good because I like weird end of the world movies, but 90% of them,
Dude.
like 90% of them, fucking
I
suck.
fall flat.
Fucking
I don't
2012, I get a lot of shit for this. Day After Tomorrow isn't like that good, but like.
It's not.
You know what
At
I'm
the
saying?
time, though,
Oh,
at
at
the-
the time, I
at
liked
its
it. I was like,
time,
but
no,
I
at
was
its
like,
time, it
I was
was-
like
it
14
was
years
good.
old. I
Yeah.
liked everything.
I liked
It was
I
a
liked
very
War of the
sim-
Worlds more than I did.
That was my
12 Days
shit.
Later.
Yeah.
War of the
12.
Worlds.
Wait, what?
What?
Did you say 28 days later?
12 weeks. What is it? 12?
You're talking about 2012.
2012. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that
12
movie
days.
just looked like
28 weeks
2012.
later.
Yeah, that was
different
good.
movie.
Fuck
Yeah,
off.
it's a
20
totally
20
different
yeah,
movie.
28 days later and 28 weeks later were fucking dope.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
remember being in the theater when I saw them put up the 28 weeks later like display, and I was like, mind blown,
Yeah,
Rob
dude.
Zombie, you
Fucking-
bastard! Like,
Rob Zombie.
he didn't do that.
Nah.
He didn't do that one.
You're
I don't
thinking
know,
of
it wasn't
like
Rob Zombie.
fucking
You're talking-
Halloween or like.
Ridley Scott.
No,
I
fuck
just
that.
found out of that.
Ridley Scott.
Garrett earlier before the podcast started, he said, "What movies
you
has
know,
Ridley Scott done?"
Rob Zombie.
Yeah, then I
he
clicked on
is-
his name on Netflix, and there's only one movie.
He
so...
is coming out with The Devil's Rejects 2, I believe.
Yeah, he is.
And that fucking Rob Zombie.
You like
is,
Devil's Reach? I never
Dude,
saw it, but was it good?
Rob Zombie as a director, fucking great.
He
Man.
did House of a Thousand Corpses.
Dude, House of a Thousand
I do
Corpses
like
is one of
that.
my favorite movies. That Devil's Rejects, even fucking crazier.
yeah.
And now that there's a part 2
Are
coming out,
those two movies
shit.
combined? Did Rob Zombie or was...
Same universe, same characters.
I feel like there was two movies released at the same time. It was about 12 years ago.
Oh, shit.
And it was either Quentin
Polish off your
Tarantino-
brains.
Yeah.
It was either Quentin Tarantino or it was Rob Zombie.
You thinking of Grindhouse and
You're talking
Yes.
about,
Yeah.
Rodriguez.
So
yeah.
Grindhouse was like a collaboration between him and Robert Rodriguez.
yeah.
Okay,
And that
Director-
was
director of
and
Spy
the movie.
Kids.
The movies were
Dope.
Death Proof,
Death-
which
there
was
we go.
Quentin
Bulletproof.
Tarantino's. No, Death Proof.
Death Proof?
Death
But
Proof.
Death Proof
That's the one
and,
with
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
With Kurt Russell, and he
So-
has his
And,
like muscle car. And then they have Planet.
the Rose McGowan with
Yeah,
the leg,
Rose
right?
McGowan with the
Planet Terror?
Yes,
Planet Terror.
Planet Terror.
Dude, fucking most
What-
underrated fucking zombie
Great
film.
name for a movie, too.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Planet Terror.
That we're
the
going on
trailers,
record.
Everything about Planet
I'm
Terror.
going
is
on
pretty
Good
record.
name for fucking everything.
Yeah,
I go for
yeah,
like
yeah.
an album
Here's
named
the
Planet
thing.
Because
Terror.
the because you can't name something Planet Terror and then the execution be terrible.
Yeah.
I'm saying it right now. Fucking Planet Terror is the most underrated fucking zombie film. That shit is so good. I love that movie.
So what were those two movies called? Was it Grindhouse?
Grindhouse is like the collection, right?
Grindhouse
Grindhouse
Collection.
is collection, but
it was a
then
double
Death
feature.
Proof
That's what it was. It was a double feature.
Death Proof and
Planet Terror.
got it because
Yeah.
they were literally advertising them as the
Yeah,
same.
they were
Yeah,
like
yeah,
together.
they showed it
If
together.
you went to the
It was a
movie,
double
they
feature.
shared you saw both of them.
Pop-up
It was a
thing.
double feature, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it was a
and so
double
who
feature.
made those? Ryan or something?
Ryan
Robert
Reynolds,
Rodriguez.
Ryan Reynolds, and,
Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino.
Got it. Rob Zombie, nowhere to be found.
No.
Well, that's not actually completely true. I
See,
I
look
remember
at-
I
look at
remember
this.
reading because they did like little.
Yeah, he did the trailer.
Yeah.
He did one of the fake trailers. Eli
he-
Roth.
Oh, they used to do the
Rob
fake
Zombie.
trailers for
I
it,
think he did
Yeah.
Hobo with a Shotgun.
Yes, yeah.
I think he did Hobo with a Shotgun.
Just want the record to show that I was right. That all those
Ryan
people
Reynolds
were-
and
Ryan
Reynolds.
Reynolds.
Cal Penn. And who was the black guy?
And
from-
Ryan
from,
Taj, yeah.
Yeah,
Greg-
yeah.
Greg Rock.
Ryan Taj, the
Thinking of
fucking
Van Wilder too,
yeah,
right?
so who was the
Fucking-
black guy from Van Wilder with the Cisco hair? Yeah, that guy too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a homeboy from fucking Real World. He got famous. Yeah, he got famous off of Real World.
Oh, word. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Damn, what was his name?
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll accept
Shout out to Real World.
responses. Meryl.
Shout out to the Real World, man.
Remember how crazy that shit used to be?
Never saw. The only closest thing I
Really?
saw that was the
That's
Dave
how I
Chappelle-
found out about AIDS, man. I didn't know AIDS was
Damn.
real.
Because
I-
Pedro
what?
had him.
Yes.
Yeah, Pedro on the show.
He had AIDS?
Yes.
And that's just like
Not a laughing
And
matter.
then he
but
died.
He's like with
No,
this.
but like on some real plot twist shit, he dies like 2 months after the show ends.
Yep.
Shit.
Yeah, he
And
became.
Because there
Yeah,
wasn't a
and he
cure
became.
yet.
Yeah.
And he became sort of like the '90s, like
AIDS
yeah,
guy.
AIDS. Yeah, that's
He
how everybody knew
he
him.
really took Magic Johnson's thunder.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
Or I guess
best
Bumps.
episode.
I don't know what
One of the
happens when
best
you have
fucking
AIDS?
episodes of South Park was the Magic Johnson like.
$800,000
Yeah,
cash
yeah.
or
He's
whatever.
like, they're like, why, like, what's the cure? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I
They-
sleep with
they-
all my money though.
And
like,
go to
he's
his
just covered
bedroom,
with money.
That's some good
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, fucking.
AIDS is never fun though.
I like when
Damn,
AIDS,
my thing. So like, going back to the
AIDS
to
can
the.
be fun. It's just,
Ask Magic Johnson.
Everything's what you make it.
I had a great time getting it. I'll tell you that.
Has he gone on record to say that?
That needs to be a banner hung at schools, and so, but it's a picture of him holding a championship trophy, but it just I had a fun time getting it.
Who was the fucking
Johnson.
what was the fuck, I don't even
That's
know
our
what
next
I was
$1 million.
What were you gonna
forget.
say?
I completely forgot.
Or
Was
Yeah,
it AIDS
you're on the-
related or
Was it
Real
the cure
world?
to AIDS? Or
were you
was it
trying
what-
to
Damn it, it
transition
was.
away from AIDS?
I
Yeah.
knew I
or-
had it.
Damn it.
I loved the real world though, and I don't remember what city it was, but it's like when you realize wrestling's
boy.
fake. You're like, oh, these are all conversation pieces. Of course, the gay dude's also black, and then it's a bunch of
Mhm.
southern white folk, and then one liberal white guy who we could at least hang out with.
You know what?
You know, on the off episodes,
Yeah.
they
You know-
really played us.
Yeah, I'll go on record and saying that like the real world, that was the first time I had ever seen one of their characters. It was like this black dude, and he was gay, but he wasn't like, he was just like a normal guy. He was
Yeah.
like, I didn't know that as a kid. I was like, oh wow, okay, that's not acceptable. I'm
Ain't
just
that-
like, oh okay.
Isn't
you
it
can be
wild
like,
though? Like when you learn someone's gay that you did not know that.
Yeah.
Because I was watching Around the Horn the other day. It's a sports show on ESPN,
Mhm.
and they were talking about the Brewers pitcher. There's a pitcher that like they dug up his tweets after like the whole James Gunn thing.
Mhm.
Call back.
I don't know why you wouldn't delete your whole Twitter if you
Dude.
became famous. I'm
Yeah,
done
the
with it.
Brewers picture though, like
Today
he
I
was-
tweeted the word bitches, and I was like, well, I haven't done that in a while, but
Twitter, edit to peaches.
yeah. But fuck, I forgot what I was talking about now. 'cause
The
you
Brewers-
The
told me-
pitcher.
Brewers
The Brewers
pitcher.
pitcher.
Before that.
Oh, what?
Fuck,
That's
I
the
don't
topic
Hey,
you were on.
bro, the real
Rob
world.
Zombie. Rob Zombie's 28 days later.
Anyway, what I was gonna, like, yeah, that's a good point. What
Yeah.
you made though about the gay black dude from the real world. I guess we can just say the gay dude from the real world because
Yeah.
blackness really didn't matter. And
Well, I just remember that was like one of the like
Blackness
that was one of the most
doesn't really
popular
matter.
seasons.
not like
Say it.
that.
Can you give me a clip of that? Of Gary saying the blackness
my
did not
God.
This is
matter.
gonna be the next 5 minutes.
No.
Just that rewinded.
Yeah.
But I just
This
mean,
would be the downfall of them
I
for
just
sure.
you made a good
We
point.
did it.
Yeah.
And the idea of like there's some people that are at an age if they're watching the real world, maybe the only version of gay they've been introduced to is negative versions of it through people telling them about it, or only super flamboyant. Like
Yeah.
that. Personally, up until I was about 14, I'd only seen super flamboyant
Same
gay
here.
people.
Same here.
And
Yeah.
then it took all it takes is experiences is how I could explain
Yeah.
so much of life.
Yeah.
Like
But
of
that's
and
anything,
and
though.
empathy.
Yeah, that's
The
anything,
word
yeah.
empathy comes from just experiencing shit.
Yeah,
where
100%.
like
I agree with that.
I don't have a problem with anybody because I've experienced so many different versions of everybody.
Yeah.
And somebody's gonna be the new version of whatever the fuck they are,
Mhm.
like themselves.
Yeah.
And so then, but it does help to have representation of a guy who is openly gay on TV and also fucking
But
does
not
does.
like a stereotype.
I promise you though, that was not the real world's intention.
Oh no!
Yeah.
the whole
fuck.
They wanted him to like.
Oh,
I'm not lying.
some shit up.
representation without them, looking too this or that.
Swear.
Yeah,
His-
that was not their intention.
Y'all remember Real World versus Road Rules?
Yeah.
Challenge.
Yeah.
Those were my favorite.
Dude, those got fucked. I remember people would like fist fight in MTV. MTV was like almost pretty much the first world star. Like,
It was the Jerry.
they just-
Jerry
yeah.
Springer was the first world,
Yo,
world
yeah.
star.
That
no.
dude
Yeah.
CT.
Yeah.
That dude CT coached a woman through cancer and then got broken up with her when she was back to like.
God.
Yo.
The Miz was on there,
understood.
right?
And that's kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
The
The
Miz
Miz got
was
to
on
He's
start
like
through all
he
that.
is still because he did the real world,
Yeah.
and then he did the WWE reality show Tough Enough.
Yep.
And he didn't even win.
Mm-mm.
He
But he
He's
wasn't
just
on the
such
first
a
season though, right?
personality.
no, he was on the second season.
Okay.
But so the Miz, like he was well received, so they didn't even use him as a wrestler.
No.
They used him as a guy with the mic.
Yeah, he's a
And
commentator.
then one day, he got fucked over and he started wrestling.
Yeah.
That was the storyline.
Yeah,
But they were basically putting him through their camp and stuff like that. But he had always wanted to be a wrestler.
yeah.
He is probably the biggest
He's one of-
success story other than Donald Trump becoming president when it comes to reality TV people.
I don't know,
Dude.
man. I think that couple from Austin is still married. I don't know.
What?
The hot blonde with the dude from Boston.
I'll,
I forget, but it really
So
got
really
me.
like-
I need to bring this
It
up.
got me through my
I need to bring
teens.
this up because I asked you on your Instagram story. I said Stone Cold or The Rock.
Stone Cold.
Put it on record right now. Stone Cold or The Rock.
See, and I always flip-flop back and forth because the Rock is the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment.
You goddamn right.
So I'm saying.
And I drink as much
Goddamn
beer as
right.
I do because of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mhm.
That's the bottom line.
And that's
I drink a lot of
I'm
Sprite
about to
because
crash
of him.
these together right now.
I feel like Sprite was like my like
Your
kid beer. Like I would be like in the
Stop
backyard.
wasting the fucking
Yeah,
Sprite.
I would only do it in the summer or like when my parents were like at work.
But yeah, I would have to say Stone Cold. He was more of a company man, you know.
So you're going
I don't know. I fucking
Stone Cold.
No, I love the
Stone
Rock.
Cold.
Yeah.
Stone Cold put them on the fucking map
Yeah.
of where they're at.
Nah.
I think
will say
his
he
superstardom.
continued the map.
Yes.
The map,
no.
the
I
map
don't-
was there. No, the map was there.
I don't know, man.
They were only trending upwards, and then Stone Cold one day was like, Austin 316 said, "I just whoop your ass." That was the end of it.
But what
King of the
almost
ring, right?
Yeah.
what almost gave them that like over that hump and like
Yeah.
put them over
Put
WCW
him
was
over.
that the big Vince versus him.
Yeah,
like,
Stone
movement.
Cold. But that was one of those things that they would bust out time and time again. That was just a time.
But the first time that they did that, because nobody
that
had
rivalry
nobody
never
had,
lost never lost its attraction.
So no,
Never.
well, like
Yeah.
so
it
like,
ended the same way every time. You know
what a lot
but-
of people fucked with that, or like why they fucked with that like premise so much is
Yeah.
like, oh, this is guy that's like giving it to his boss.
That's exactly what I
And
fucked
see-
with. That
and
I
you
didn't
see,
even
like,
work.
So
And I
many
was like,
people and so many people just related to that and wanted to see Stone
That
Cold
is
just
the
kick his
bottom
ass.
line.
And
Yeah.
how old were we? We were like, that's my math.
yeah.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah. Honestly.
I could spray with a
fucking
Coors Light truck.
Dude, like they threw it from so far away. I still like when we were in like Cancun a couple months ago. They were giving away some Dos Equis rep showed up.
brag.
When we were in Cancun, living it up.
You know what I'm saying? Dancing with Rihanna.
Yeah. Nah, we were just in the pool.
Dance with Rihanna?
Some like
If you dance with Rihanna, tell me.
no,
have
I
to
didn't.
tell
have
us.
it.
You have,
wasn't-
legally, you have to tell me.
She wasn't in
Some
Cancun
like
at the time.
Corona rep showed up and he was like, "We're cooking burgers," and everybody
Oh,
lost
yeah.
their shit. But he was like throwing beers out, and I was in the pool,
Yeah.
and I just hoping I was like,
Here,
and it never showed up. I was just like, the shit should have hit me right here, like two of them.
I've always worked
I've had-
for Stone Cold.
Yeah.
I feel like, but I feel like whenever like at least the camera guy did such a good job because he never showed where the beer came from.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Flew
it
in.
looked like it just like fucking manifested like.
the guy could have been right here, just tossing
Yeah.
over
But you
here.
gotta say,
But
man, Stone Cold
I
was
will
always
say,
catching them.
He caught every single
That's what I'm
fucking
saying.
one.
Whoever was throwing that shit.
Nah,
every
seen
show.
some
Seen some misses?
I've seen some misses.
Are you serious?
No.
I've never seen
Were you
that.
there live or were
because-
you watching it on TV?
No, on TV, because when he misses, he'll miss it and just go.
Another one.
And get
I've
some
seen
more.
that. I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
that.
But you said the Corona people.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know two people that have been at resorts
And they show
in
up.
Mexico. The Corona people just show up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's Monday.
He had like a mic, and he
And
was
it
like,
just-
"We're cooking burgers."
They
Like,
have more money than they know what to do with
Yeah.
on the sales of beer that they have purposely like made stale.
On
Yeah.
the sale of like every Fast and Furious movie, they have more money
That's
than they.
it.
Yeah.
fucking Vin Diesel, like, you got your bucket of Coronas.
yeah.
The
Fucking,
CIA was like, "You do this job for us." No, I got Coronas. Okay.
Vin Diesel's like,
Hey, I'm gonna say it right now.
Paul Walker at all.
Yeah. Family.
I'll say it right now. Fucking.
Thanks,
I love the
Dodge.
Fast and Furious movies so goddamn much.
They're so trash.
Oh, dude,
Not
I
all
love
of
them. I love them.
Not all of them.
Which one? Okay, which one is trash? Let me ask you.
Uh-oh,
Which one is the trash? The
He's
shittiest
not gonna
one?
give you a straight up answer, bro.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right
Oh,
now.
I'll tell you.
No,
it's
the
definitely
shittiest one.
Yeah.
It's what?
Paul Walker's death on.
Paul
So
Walker's
those
death
two
on.
What about the last one?
What?
Like
The only Paul Walker death one, like post Paul Walker, was the last one.
8?
Yeah, I'm talking about
No,
even
the
dead
7
Paul
and 8,
Walker.
right? The 7 when he
Well, the
was
7
dead.
I
was
feel like
like
7
I guess-
is fine.
Yeah, he was in
7 was
7, but he was
half-
already dead.
It was his like fatter brother, like pretending to be him. Like,
Oh man, and how bad was it? When,
Tokyo
like,
Drift's
remember
not
in
good.
7 when
No,
shut
see,
the fuck up.
that's
Bad,
what he
bad
said.
Garrett.
No,
He said
that's the
Tokyo
thing.
Drift
Tokyo
wasn't good.
Tokyo Drift gets such a fucking bad rep.
It's
but let me
good.
tell you something.
It's good.
That
me
guy
tell you something.
needed to be
It's
in
a
Friday
timepiece.
night.
One, it's a timepiece.
Let me tell you something.
He
about
needed to be
Tokyo
Friday
Drift.
night. He needed to be in Friday Night Lights 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However the fucking
Quit banging
many-
on the table.
I was
You
just
ain't
thinking
hear
that
him?
shit. I was
You ain't
like,
hear him?
he's breaking the
I'm
rules.
gonna eat and I'm gonna bang on the table.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's like my thumbs.
Here's the thing about Tokyo Drift and like why I don't agree with like why everybody fucking hates it.
Why?
I mean,
You're
it's
stupid.
not like
Because
Me
it's
and
not.
this
It's
Asian
not.
girl fell in love
here's the
because I
thing,
learned
here's the
how to
thing.
drift cars.
he's on that Mark shit.
So
Bong.
here's the thing. Tokyo Drift is the only
Bong.
fast
the movie Bong.
is the only Fast and Furious car film that actually has to deal with fucking cars.
Well,
There is
nah,
no
the first 3.
The first three.
The first one,
Fast
they
and
go to
Furious.
Drift Wars
No,
or
no,
whatever.
Fast and
No, oh my
Furious,
God, okay,
Tokyo
the first
Drift,
one-
Too Fast and Furious. Or
Dog,
maybe- no,
okay.
there's a lot of cars in the.
I'll give
Don't,
you.
don't
I'll
put
give
Too
you.
Fast, Too Furious.
I'll
There's
give
a lot
you-
of cars.
I'll
in
give
shit,
you
speaking of which,
Too
I'm
Fast.
bidding on the Too Fast, Too Furious.
Too Furious.
Here it is.
soundtrack.
Here it is.
What the hell?
I'll give
Speaking of
you.
which, R. Kelly's on that.
Is he?
So
Sorry.
hold
So,
on.
We'll
Trick
save that
Daddy.
segue to a little.
Sorry, very good song.
So
Damn, did I win that one or not?
God damn it.
Go ahead,
Fast
bro.
for
Roll
y'all.
that.
Too Fast, Too Furious
They're never
I did
gonna
win
guess
that.
again.
Sweet.
has a fuck
99
ton of
cents.
cars, right?
99 cents?
Too Fast, Too Furious has a fuck ton of cars. Fast and
Vinyl?
Furious 1. Fast and Furious 1. They go to that fucking race wars. One race.
One race.
Wait,
One
what type of
fucking
race
race.
war?
Well, hold on.
2018 is a whole different.
the Great Race War of
When that
99.
movie come out, yeah,
or
99 Race War.
Yeah, or
They-
2001 or some
Ooh, that's
shit.
the Koreans versus the blood.
So
They all
The good old days.
they all raced that 18-wheeler to steal all the shit.
They
from
go
it.
but that's
I
not a
still-
fucking
I'm
race.
just
I
kidding,
still
I'm just
think
kidding.
to this day I still think about that car going underneath that 18-wheeler.
I try that-
And I
I
don't know
try
why.
that. I
You
know.
drive a fucking like Jeep.
I know,
like,
but even
still
me,
think
I'm
Here's
just
the
like-
thing. I pulled that off in video games, and
Yeah.
every time afterwards, I was just like,
yeah. You know what? That was 2 movies later. What the fuck?
Yeah. So anyway, like what Pedro was saying, all the Fast and Furious movies.
They're not
suck.
trash.
And
They're not
I'm
trash.
saying.
Tokyo Drift is not fucking trash.
It
It's
is
the
not.
only one that has like fucking like actual race at the end that means something.
I
Like-
saw.
and then Vin Diesel showed up. Oh, y'all thought I wasn't about this
Yeah.
bread?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about this bread.
I
For
saw the
about
first
5
one.
seconds.
Yeah.
I saw first Fast and Furious, and then I remember like I think I saw the second one, and I kind of fell asleep during it, and I didn't watch another one until Fast 7. Fast 7, and I was like, this is sad as fuck. Like I missed Paul Walker,
but-
and I only saw the first one.
Yo, Fast 6 was dope as fuck.
How many times did they set
Fast
it up?
4 is what they
Wait,
said.
it
was
looked
fucking
like
phenomenal.
it looked like Paul Walker was about to die then and there. You're like,
Yeah.
here he is
It's
flying.
their fault.
He's flying out the plane in the car, and he's about to hit that tree. Like, oh, he's gonna hit that tree like in real life, and
Oh,
then
what the fuck?
he just goes right over. Like, okay,
Yeah.
Ooh, he's there. Ooh. And
Did you
then-
not find the ending like just touching?
Of what?
No.
Oh yeah, when they
I
drive
did not.
apart.
7?
No,
I did not.
When they drove
Well,
apart,
he's
that
got
was
the
shit.
picture of his
I did
fan.
not.
My favorite part of Fast 7.
I was more sad when Ashley was about to let go of Pikachu.
Oh,
Uh,
That was a pretty
Based
sad
on-
one,
No,
right?
Based
the
on
fucking
when he
Butterfree.
was about to.
No, the
Oh, the
Butterfree.
Butterfree.
The Butterfree
no,
episode.
but he
Both-
did do that. Like he.
No, but
He gave away all his good Pokemon. All his good Pokemon were gone.
Yeah.
That
There
Butterfree.
was that-
I don't know, Pedro. The
But
fact that you were
letting
sad
go of-
about them driving away with or from each other, I feel like you have burner Twitter accounts where you're just mad emotional about daily events.
There you go. There you go. My bad, folks. I actually dropped my phone and
He
stopped the
didn't.
recording. So
He did not.
Damn.
He's
So-
full of shit. I
He
knocked
realized-
his phone out of his hand. And he's trying not to sound like a bitch right now.
Garrett.
He realized I was
Don't
right
do
about
that.
all the Fast and Furious
Oh
movies.
my god! I'm editing that shit out.
He realized I was right about the Fast and Furious movies, and the only grounds I had to stand on are two things: Vin Diesel, pussy. Second thing,
Vin
Wiz-
Diesel?
Oh.
Wiz Khalifa.
No, that's
always
not what we were
full of
talking
money.
about. I won't say Vin Diesel's a pussy.
Yes,
I
I
will
do.
not say that.
Would you fight Vin Diesel?
No, he would not.
Yeah,
No, you would not. No, he would not.
with words.
No, he would not.
with words.
With words.
I'm talking about Riddick.
Oh, Riddick,
So-
Prime Vin Diesel?
I have less
Pitch
legs
Black
to stand
Riddick.
on. I would fight Vin Diesel, but that's only because I believe
He's like
in
5
myself.
feet tall, so
Because
like
that's because he's walls
He's
and
not.
Jericho'd me.
he's 5 foot tall.
They're
Was
all-
Jericho?
I didn't almost die.
Yes.
I've hit it so many times.
No, wait, no.
I've hit it
No.
so many times I
Never
forgot,
mind.
bro.
I went
Never
yeah,
mind, no,
in
it
real
wasn't me, it was
jiu-jitsu,
Richard.
in real jiu-jitsu,
I
hit
fucking
the
I will
walls of
never
Jericho.
I will never forget when I got Walls of Jericho.
Oh,
It was
And
Richard.
that shit hurt so fucking bad. But like my thing was like I was showing my cousin. I was like, "Hey, let's like fucking pretend like we're wrestlers and
you
shit."
do it
and
on
then,
me, and I'll do it on you.
So like,
I'll pretend.
So
Oh.
so I do the Walls of Jericho, but I do that shit real easy, real light, because I don't want to hurt his back. And then I'm like, and he's like, let me try this, and he did it. I'm like, that
Torch the
motherfucker,
fuck out of here.
like he just fucking went,
So,
I mean,
down
it's
with
smart.
it.
Think about what you're doing. You're
God.
stretching all the leg muscles that reach into the back
dude.
muscles.
I
You're
got
fucking
it.
someone
I
up.
couldn't
I've got
breathe.
a great story about
I
it.
could not fucking breathe.
My buddy was about he was like a week and a half from going to wherever the fuck he needs to go for the Army Reserve.
San Diego or something. I don't know.
Somewhere in Texas, actually. So,
Plan.
Mhm.
so
He needed
I kept on
one-on-one
telling
people.
him because we were supposed because me and my homeboy we have a long history of putting on some gloves and fighting each other.
Okay.
So it's like I need to fight you before you
leave.
get government
I need to
trained.
fight
Yeah.
So he
Well, it's
said
still
he-
fair.
He said no,
Okay.
and so he came to my buddy's house And that was the plan. I already had gloves on, and my buddy had gloves in his backpack. So when I came around the corner with the gloves, and I also had weapons hid around everywhere. I didn't need them. But
He's like Dwight Schrute.
Nunchucks hidden in like trees and shit.
Hey, yeah, you laugh now. It's better to be safe than sorry when you're getting your ass kicked, and then you wish you had some nunchucks.
Yeah, who has
behind
throwing
something.
stars now?
But anyways, and that was one of the things. So I had gloves on. So I came around the corner. I was like, "Let's go, bitch!" And so he was putting his gloves on, and I was talking to my homeboy. He blindsided me, and I didn't know. I actually didn't know what part of the body the walls of Jericho worked, but he was kicking me off, and I had both of his legs, and I stepped over, and I put him in the walls of Jericho. And right before he left for the army, I tapped his bitch ass out, and he was just like, "Man." That's one of those wrestling moves. He was like, I felt it from like my, from my back to my neck. Like I felt it. I was like, well, if I'd known that, I probably wouldn't have done it. 'Cause that sounds like it really hurts. But I did win. It was great. But I did win. And I lied. I would do it every single time.
As a kid, I rock bottomed my neighbor from the top of a fence post onto a trampoline.
Oh shit.
That also hurts apparently, based on his loss of tooth.
Shit.
Me and Robert, I think Robert's gonna be here next week, but we were like,
y'all got more cats?
Yeah, Robert. Now that y'all set the
Show a little
precedent.
skin and then y'all ain't gonna.
Oh shit! Give us the Mick Foley.
I'll take my sock and put it in your mouth, bro. You do big gloves.
Yeah, so like we were drinking this shit. We go out into like in front of the dorms. We were in college, and we're like, I don't know why we're like, let's wrestle. So like we're like,
we're drunk.
Yeah, we're like, fine. I got like. I probably had like 100 pounds of Robert at this point. And so like I'm on like top of him holding him down, and he like slipped. And when I fell on him, and his neck was like, his head like went in or something like that. And like he just like,
shit.
He was like laid out for a little bit. I was like, oh shit. And he like got up. He was like, dude, I think you almost paralyzed me. I'm fucking scared. And I was
Guys,
like,
I paralyzed.
I was like, oh shit, my bad. But you did slip. Like that's not my fault. Like, he's like, I felt like shit, man.
didn't do
like,
anything.
I was like, that's not my fault.
Yeah.
You're the one that wanted to wrestle.
One time, this guy wanted to take jiu-jitsu a little more seriously. And so, like, I was given instructions not to hurt him or tap him out or anything.
So you're a real juice.
But no, I'm not.
I don't think
I was just a little bit better than this guy.
I don't think it was "Don't tap me out."
No, it was. Because you put yourself in that position a lot of times.
No, I know.
No,
that's what made me think you walls of Jericho'd me, but it wasn't that. You did that to Richard.
I look over at homeboy. I'm like, can I choke him? He's like, so I choke Garrett. Garrett taps out, and then he goes, "You almost got." I'm like, no. Oh my God. I got you. It was so bad. I got you. Like you're like, yeah. I don't know why you let go. Like, nah, I had that bitch. Like I literally waited for the okay. Like to
We wouldn't hear Garrett's side of the story.
I was learning all of that for terrible reasons.
Trying to get laid, huh?
No.
That,
Trying to lay someone out because they cost me a job.
Oh, okay. See,
and I was gonna sneak them, and I don't want to be the guy.
You're gonna sneak jujitsu?
No. If you're gonna sneak somebody, you'd rather get to the ground and know what you're doing than get to the ground and now there's a puzzle going on.
Also, before we did all of that, we did like 20 minutes of boxing every time.
That's why he got me.
Yeah, if
I didn't box for 20 minutes, my neck would have been great.
No, the point I'm trying to make is I was trying to sneak this guy with everything I could.
There was no sneaking. No.
That's
the only time I've ever felt like
I ended up getting
like
the job back, so I didn't have to. So
I look.
The whole point, anyway,
this is getting uncomfortable.
The Rock versus Stone Cold.
It's
Stone
been
Cold.
because like you know people get in that position where they want to learn how to do something, but they let their ambition take over. Where they like you're doing something, but you don't know what you're doing. So he like I'm not even talking about Garrett at this point. I'm talking about someone else before I choked out Garrett.
Yeah.
Choked out someone else.
Carlos.
Choked out someone else. But the whole time I was just like he was in the Marines and he was trying to implement this strategy on me. And again, I don't know what I'm doing more than this guy. Like he has to know more. But I'm like, here he is. He's literally basically like almost pulling my arm up to choke him. I'm like, I'm looking at Garrett, the guy that we're training with, and I'm just like, do I or don't I? And the first couple times he's like, don't. And then I got slammed on my spine, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna choke him out." Mm-hmm. And then that's just like the type of hype it is. Like when you don't know what you're doing and shit. Like I said, I barely knew what I was doing, but when you don't know what you're doing, you try to freak it. It's pretty fun.
The only time I did boxing for a bit when I was younger, about
Yeah.
14, 13, around then, and I remember I was in a like an adult boxing like class.
How old were you?
I was 14 years
Oh,
old.
shit.
Yeah, and so like
R. Kelly's
there's
School of
one
Boxing.
dude. There's one dude. His name was Steve. Well, fucking
Yeah.
Steve. You can tell that like this
Steve
guy.
wanted to beat some people up.
Yeah, Steve. He was on that.
Steve was
he
an adult.
was on that. He was like a man in his like late 40s.
Oh shit.
Right?
You were
But you could
14?
tell. But
So
yeah,
he's
and I was
50,
14.
I was
So
60.
you could tell this guy Steve like he wanted to either be a fucking like an actual fighter or he was just like had all this pent up shit.
Yeah.
But he was like nice enough. But at one point the instructor was like, all right, everybody break up into like sparring partners. Well, like so lo and behold, I get Steve this one time. I'm like, fuck, like why the fuck do I gotta get Steve? Because I'm usually like sparring with like this chick over here,
Yeah.
like this lady.
We
But,
throw gloves.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like the rotation, like this side moves, and this side doesn't.
Yeah. And so now I'm sparring with Steve, and I can tell he's like kind of taking it easy. So I'm like, oh, thank God, like you fuck. And then finally I get him with one good like hook.
And he
I
lets
get
you
him
know.
I get him with one good hook, and to the point to where it actually like turned his head,
Yeah.
and
He lets you
and
know
he was
what
like.
it is.
And he was like, "Damn, that was pretty good." And I was like, "Oh, and like I put my hands down, and I was like,
Thanks.
"Oh, thanks."
Go,
And he
go,
just
go,
fucking goes, "Wah!" And he fucking like just straight
Right
jabbed
in
my
the
ass
guard,
right in
yeah.
the fucking like face.
Yeah.
And it was one of those to where I was like, "Oh, that." It was just like my fucking voice lost. I was like, "Fucking shit,
Steve,
man."
It's like those-
Damn it.
There's
Steve
Tell my mom.
Steve let me know what the fuck was up.
occasionally in the UFC, someone gets knocked out or it's fucked up so bad that like when the referee stops it, they come to and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like, but then, and a lot of, not all, but most MMA fighters, like when they see that type of shit, like when they bitch the ref, like,
Mhm.
why'd you stop it? And then they see the video of them getting hit 3 or 6
Mhm.
times,
Yeah.
like uncontested, they're real quick to be like, oh, yeah. No, he was
Appreciate
right.
it,
He was
yeah.
right.
Yeah, almost
When
Yeah.
you look at when Stipe just lost to DC,
Yeah,
like, he was getting hit where he couldn't control it enough
Yeah.
to protect himself in the near future.
Yeah,
Got caught.
not at all. Yeah.
And did he push the ref or no?
No, he didn't push the ref.
But he was in the
talked.
ref's
No,
face.
he definitely
Yeah.
talked to the ref afterwards. But like
And
after
then-
he got
and then-
put down, yeah.
And then after the raising of DC's hand,
yeah.
then
Because
Stipe
I
was
watched
like,
his,
no, you won. Congratulations.
Yeah, I watched.
Damn.
Did I miss it? No. Oh no, I did miss it. Okay. Anyways.
Your eBay, huh?
Yeah.
This man
That
is
99 cent
he's
vinyl.
addicted.
Well, no, I just missed the one I wanted, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Joel Zampa?
Nah, the 3-6 Mafia chopped and screwed.
Oh,
Two
damn.
piece.
If there's one that I wanted you to get, it was that one.
It would be dope. I'm not gonna
He's
lie.
like, fuck you guys.
Nah, me personally,
You wanna
I
get popped in the face
understand.
again, bro?
What was that?
Fucking
That's
Steve.
fair, bro. I'll do it.
Don't patronize
Choke you
me.
out.
Oh yeah, I got you, bro. I'm good.
So, yeah. Did
Talk-
you answer
talk about
Stone
what's your-
Cold
what's
or
our
The
next
Rock?
question?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
yeah. Anyway, I feel like-
Stone Cold or The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock.
So
See,
I didn't know. I thought he was
That's the
Hispanic
easy
for a long
answer,
time.
though.
So I was like, finally, a guy that looks like me.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
a
I
lot
didn't
of
know.
people-
My
a lot
hands
of-
are sticky as
oh,
fuck.
wow.
Yeah, I was just eating gummy worms.
a lot of people thought The Rock was Hispanic. I'll give you that. A lot of people did. If you're just listening and not watching, I just wiped my hands off on Pedro's shorts after dabbing Frankie.
I was just eating these like gummy worms, and you go for a dap. I'm like, I'm down.
No, but yeah, a lot of people thought The Rock was
That's
Hispanic.
what I'm saying, and I
Yeah,
feel like
I'll give you
I
that.
had like cousins and shit that like they wouldn't call him The Rock. They were like from Guatemala, and they're like, "Oh, you talking about a merenguero?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about."
Yeah.
I didn't know he was like Samoan or fucking Hawaiian or some
No,
shit.
he's Samoan.
Yeah. So like, I didn't know. I was like,
Samoan AF.
I was like, so the El Rock. I was like, I get with him, but
I'll say, and it's not to demean everything he did before their
shit
feud.
about Hispanic people right now.
No. Do you think The Rock would be
yes.
only
As big
wrestling
today?
wise? Only wrestling wise, as big as he is,
Yeah.
without Stone Cold.
100%.
You don't think
Yeah,
that
you
was
don't think it was?
that was his
One-
foil though. That was
one-
I
his.
think they
no,
were a
because-
symbiotic relationship.
No.
They existed without each
The
other.
Rock had
and then got
lineage.
bigger.
The Rock had lineage in the business.
Okay,
so
but
when
do
the Rock,
so do the Uso brothers.
the Uso brothers do too. Their dad is
They're not
Rikishi.
the Fast
Oh,
and Furious.
I wanted to talk about Rikishi too.
No,
Oh,
but see-
Rikishi?
No, so-
People ate ass.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
but there's a big difference between like The Rock. He already had his full head of steam
He's
before.
got it.
He had his full head of steam before he got into this feud with Stone Cold. What would happen was there was two guys that were trending upwards at the exact same time, and that's probably the best situation for the WWE.
And Vince McMahon was
ask the WWE right now, they'd kill for that type of situation. The way they're pushing Roman Reigns and just fucking him over, and then they. I love
like Roman Reigns.
See,
Of course.
Is he that one in that commercial singing with his daughter and shit?
No, he's the one singing with the in his court appointed Big Brother program commercials.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in those.
All right.
But no, the Rock, he had the lineage to get him to launch him to the point, and even then he wasn't as popular until he went from like Rocky Maivia till
The Rock.
to The Rock.
Because he was rolling with
He was
what
rolling
is
with,
Farouk's real name?
I feel like
Ron
what's his
Simmons.
Rocky Maivia?
Yeah,
What are you
Ron
talking
Simmons.
about?
with the Nation of Domination.
There we go.
Yeah, there it is. Nation of Domination.
And they were still
Nation of
fronting
Domination.
him. They're still like,
Yeah, because The Rock
Rocky
was not
Maivia.
black, but everyone else in the Nation of Domination was black.
Yeah.
The Rock was just dark enough.
Yeah. That classic
Yeah.
WWE like shit.
Yeah,
Vince
yeah.
McMahon. Vince McMahon's like one of the fucking.
to Nation of
Vince
Domination.
McMahon himself was like one of the worst fucking people. Like
Who?
Oh
ever.
yeah,
Vince McMahon.
He is sad.
just fucking
Nah.
nuts.
See,
He is just
No,
like
he-
nuts. No, when you present a storyline where you have some sort of incest with like your daughter.
no, I get that. I do. I do.
What fuck?
I do.
Yeah,
No,
but for
I'm not saying
Stephanie-
I excuse it.
For Stephanie
Trust
McMahon.
trust and believe. We're the same.
Him and his daughter?
We're the same people that.
Was that a thing?
Yeah, so
we're
like,
we're
so-
the same people that let Vince McMahon do the whole Eddie Guerrero, I'm Mexican, I lie, I cheat, I steal. We let Vince McMahon do the whole crime time with two black guys that were all
I was
about
14.
crime.
I didn't let anybody do shit.
Yeah.
No, but you didn't feel some type of way about it.
I didn't know anything.
Yeah. I
So,
really
so,
didn't know how to
we
feel.
didn't have-
do you really
we-
feel some type of way now about
We
Eddie
didn't
Guerrero?
have Twitter,
Here's
dog.
my- here's my thing
No,
was-
but do you feel some type of way now about how Eddie
I don't
Guerrero
know.
was played?
I don't know. I don't remember anything. My thing with wrestling is like, I say
They
shit.
let everyone know that Mexicans lie, cheat, and
That's
steal.
that's what I mean. Like,
And ride lowriders and have cousins.
Yeah.
But I like
that's
the
true.
lowrider though.
Hold on. Hold
it
on.
spoke to me.
And then they had
I
racist
like
ass
lowriders.
JBL come out in the lowrider like, oh, this is Mexican culture.
Yeah.
With the longhorns on.
Yes,
Yeah,
bro. Like,
yeah.
I just wish you were like.
they didn't shy away from it, but you can't say that you condemn it in one part. We let it slide for
Nah,
a
I don't
while.
know, man. Like,
You
I have this
know-
weird thing where I say like every episode that like I didn't have cable growing up, so
Yeah.
like when SmackDown came to like UPN, I
Yeah.
was watching that shit every
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah.
Yes.
So like I got into it for like a couple. It wasn't very long because
No,
I
it
feel
was
like it was
a couple
like
years.
2 or 3 years,
Yeah.
and then like I was out. I think it kind of faded away or something.
No, I went
Nah,
to Sci-Fi Network.
Yeah,
to
like it just
Sci-Fi,
like I
yeah.
couldn't watch anymore. And
Well,
like
'cause
when
when
Eddie
it was
Guerrero
on
came out
UPN,
with
it
the
went
new
from Thursdays
Radical,
to
I don't know what they
Fridays
were
to
called.
Tuesdays.
It was like Eddie Guerrero with Chris Benoit
And then
Rey Mysterio.
Perry Saturn.
What were they
Perry
called?
Saturn.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
New Radicals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when they came out,
with
like,
the
these
Z.
motherfuckers badass.
With the Z.
Yeah. That's when I was like, I fuck with Eddie Guerrero and like Perry Saturn and shit.
Yo, Perry Saturn roided up to the gills.
Dude,
dog.
yeah.
I
man.
don't remember Perry Saturn.
Perry
look
Saturn-
him up.
he was
Look
the
him up.
bald
Look him up.
guy, right?
He
He
was
was
a
the guy with the mop.
Yeah.
You know why he got the mop, right?
Al Snow had the mop, I thought.
No. Al Snow had the mannequin head.
That's right.
So Perry Saturn got the mop because
Yeah.
he pissed off Vince McMahon. He's like, "Fuck, you're gonna carry a mop for this
Yeah,
rest
yeah,
of the,
yeah.
for the rest of your career." So it's like he had like this weird thing with the mop,
Yeah.
and then he turned it. He like turned it around, and then he just became this weird guy that like every picture he would do like cross-eyed with the mop.
Yeah.
It's this
Fuck
weird
Can we
shit.
agree that Dana White wants to be? Oh Jesus Christ! I do remember Perry Saturn. You're right.
You're
Yeah.
right.
I'll put a
Roy-
picture. Of him.
Roy
I'll put a
to the
picture
gills.
of him.
Dana White wants to be Vince McMahon.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Who fucking
I-
wouldn't? If you're in that industry, you want to be fucking Vince
But
McMahon.
I'll
That's
turn
what
to
he wants
you.
be.
Vince McMahon.
I'll turn to
like
Carlos
legendary.
just because I know Carlos follows UFC way better.
You can say
than I do.
MMA. You don't have to say
Sorry.
UFC.
Oh
All
shit.
right, what's the latest kickboxing tournament? Carlos?
We ain't speaking on any of that. I don't think that he wants to be in terms of money. Yeah, of course. Who doesn't? Shit, I do.
Or fucking makes
I meant personality.
Why?
But personality wise,
Fucking XFL is coming back. Motherfucker has money.
I almost tweeted the other day like, I'm so glad that Vince wants to lose more money this way.
Yeah.
like you already did it, and like he did the XFL without any racial backing. Now he's talking
Yeah.
about like no
No
one with, no one
DUIs
with
or
priors.
whatever.
We're
Everyone,
sponsored by
ev-
Papa John's.
everyone has
Yeah.
to stand by the net.
I'd rather have Vince McMahon's voice. He's like he's got that real like
Yeah.
no
No, he's like that.
yeah.
He's gonna puke.
he's gonna puke.
But that's why, like-
that fucking beyond the mat shit.
That's why
God,
Vince
dude.
was a really good commentator. When he was a commentator, Vince was a really good commentator.
Nah,
You
nobody's
can't play
fucking better than fucking
JR.
JR.
yeah.
No way.
But here's the thing.
That man
like,
has family.
Monday Night Raw used to be spoiled when they had Vince and JR before
Yeah.
they had King there. It used to be Vince and JR just sitting there shooting the shit, and you're like, man, this is the height of commentary.
And
right
then
now.
OG
King came.
podcast.
And
That's
then,
OG podcast right there.
oh yeah, that's very true.
and then Vince is over, and Vince. That's how you knew he deserved an Oscar because he sounded dumbfounded by everything.
It's
but he
just-
wrote everything.
it-
Not wrote, but
dude,
he approved of
yeah,
everything.
yeah, that's his
he has
thing.
writers for
Whenever I think back to like the King and like JR, like
Yeah,
their shit,
that era.
the King was always on that like kind of going for the heels and shit, like the
Yeah.
bad guys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
JR was always on
Kept-
that
oh, yeah.
good. Yeah,
Always.
he kept it center, and he was rooting for the good guy every time.
That's why JR loves
and as
Stone Cold.
as a kid, I remember thinking like JR is my man. Dude. I
Oh
fucking
yeah,
love him so
I was
much.
like, yo, fuck Jerry Lawler.
yeah, yeah, fuck
see,
puppies.
but
No,
that's
I
no,
agree
that's
on that.
no.
I agree.
That's
on
the motherfucker
that.
that was fighting with fucking Andy Kaufman and
Andy
shit.
Kaufman,
Yeah,
Andy
yeah.
Kaufman. Yep.
but that's the sign of one, a good wrestler, two, a good commentator.
Mhm.
Fuck
When
yeah.
they, because a heel commentator is not easy to do.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, he was out there commentating for the heels. He was probably the next best thing when it comes to heel commentators.
I did not.
Heel commentators don't really get that much love. Even Taz, when he was doing SmackDown, like he was
I
going
like
back
Taz.
and forth.
I like
He was
Taz.
going back and forth.
Taz seemed
But
too.
Taz was the realest
into
probably
the-
one because
Okay.
he would agree with both sides. Like
Yeah, he would.
he would talk good about the heels, but he would all the good guys, but he would also see where the heels were coming from and
Yeah.
explain that.
Hey, we all hated Michael Coleman, right?
Fuck Michael Coleman.
Yeah, Michael, yeah.
I don't like him at all.
But hey, he's doing his thing,
But-
so he's getting that money. I don't hate
now I
that.
respect him. Like now, like if I do watch wrestling now and he's there, I'm like,
Shit,
oh,
even
he's from my childhood.
The
At
best
time,
the best
I
thing,
hated that guy.
Jonathan Coachman, Coach.
Yeah,
Coach is on
Coach.
ESPN.
No, he was.
Hey, sorry,
He's back.
Coach was
He's
on
back.
ESPN.
Yeah, he's back on
Yeah.
WWE. But but shit, that's the money you get. His contract was up.
yeah.
And now there's a bidding war between ESPN and WWE. And then
I think being
the
a
next
commentator's-
Monday, you see Booker T got sent back to Houston, and
Yeah.
Jonathan Coachman sitting there on the fucking.
I think
panel.
being a commentator of anything is
Yeah.
like one of the most fucking toughest like jobs, at
Yeah.
least like for me, because there's no because like
You have
I'll
to
be
pretend
playing
excitement.
I'll be playing fucking Overwatch
Well, you
with
don't have
like
to
you, and I know individually every character's name, but in the heat of the match, I'll be
Yeah.
like, fucking the monkey is like killing my ass right now.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice.
I will say
I haven't played Overwatch.
There is a gorilla character.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Cool.
I know
I,
what
was
you mean.
like, I don't understand the
There's
racist undertones.
there is
a
gorilla
But
I was like,
will
good
say-
choice, Pedro.
It seems very in camp.
when it comes to the freshness of WWE commentary,
Going
there
on here is that a bet? Okay.
there,
You
there
look
are
frozen.
moments and there's parts where like when they do sound genuinely shocked. There's parts where the production team and stuff they keep the commentary team out of it.
Mm-hmm.
That way, when it does happen, they're just as shocked as you and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it happened, when the
You're
when
like, oh,
Stone Cold,
shit.
goes, oh my god, like what?
Yeah.
Like when you hear that
Oh,
genuine
God.
excitement, like he genuinely like they do that all of the time.
Like Stone Cold's
Like-
music comes
like,
on,
they-
you're like,
they-
oh
they-
shit.
They keep
They don't always tell
they
JR.
keep the
Yeah.
commentators in the dark about a lot of shit, just so
Dog,
they
God.
maintain that level of excitement and like
I like that.
just bravado about
This
it.
is-
They
It's
probably
fucking
let them
dope.
know the general idea.
Can you imagine how it must have felt when like seeing fucking Mick Foley fall for the first time?
Right.
Like off of the
Through
fucking
your
Hell in the
table?
Cell. Yeah, through
Or
your
no, the
table.
Mexican table. No, through the Mexican table. They only ruin the Mexican tables.
Did anyone? I feel like again,
It's not
Mexico.
real.
No,
It
but
wasn't
like,
real.
They only
But-
ruined the other table when it was the main event.
But,
But like
like,
the last match called. Last match called. They don't need the table.
Was there like Spanish pay-per-views?
You never
No, there
saw
was.
it.
No, there was.
I
didn't
want
see
to
them,
watch
but you
those.
didn't order
I
them.
fucking
You
want
didn't
to watch
order
those
them,
so
but you
bad.
could order them in
La
Spanish.
Piedra.
Yeah.
You could order them in
Dios
Spanish.
mío,
Yeah.
Dios mío.
That's all it is.
I want to hear
Los
it. I want to hear
puppies.
it.
Los puppies.
I almost begged the table and I caught myself right here.
That's what the puppies
That's
do.
not-
to you.
yeah, that's what the puppies
that's
will
the
do.
puppies.
Those
And
puppies.
we were talking about Rikishi, and like Rikishi's like finishing move was like, I'm gonna rub my ass in your face.
You go eat
And
my
so,
ass.
yeah, that was that weird thing with wrestling where I feel like when I got into it was like SmackDown, and that felt prime like, oh, so other men are supposed to suck your dick. Like that's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like I
X-Pac.
remember being a
Oh,
kid and being
okay.
like,
You ever
oh,
hear
so that's what it's about.
You ever
Okay.
hear
X-Pac used to have this move called,
Bronco
other
Bronco
Oh,
Buster.
you talking about the Bronco Buster?
And you hear about the time he ripped his
Yeah.
gooch open?
What happened?
Someone moved, and he ripped it on the turnbuckle.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Literally, he said his gooch slid across the turnbuckle
Yeah.
Ew.
and just ripped.
And
Oh,
completely ripped
my
open.
God.
And like, I'm not gonna
And that's
lie.
when you need to have a gun on you.
Oh,
and
shit.
just
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie
Damn
though.
it,
Like
dude,
the
you ripped your
video,
gooch?
I find the video
You saw the video?
to be
Yeah.
one of the funniest fucking things ever. I'm
'Cause
sorry.
He
He hits it
tried.
hard.
Because he hits it, and then like I expect because he's X-Pac, like
The
he's
spring up.
he's gonna spring back up, he's gonna sell that shit. He hits it, and he's like, he's like fucking screaming.
Oh, I
his
imagine he
ass
falls
off.
backward and just lays there.
He's just like fucking screaming his ass
yeah,
off,
I think my dick's in
And-
8 pieces right now,
dude.
babe.
And at like God, it looks painful, but it's also very.
That was a weird thing with
hilarious.
And
wrestling
it
at the
also
time.
was painful. It
Yeah.
doesn't just look painful.
Yeah.
Think about ripping your gooch open.
Yeah, it hurts.
If you're not
Is it-
familiar, it's the
Is
space
it though?
between
No, I'm kidding.
it's the space between your
I
ball
tried
sack
once.
and your
I
asshole.
tried.
Yeah.
It's
So
your,
you
it's
were
your
just-
scientists call it your groin,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I thought your groin was.
it's right next to your ass and your dick.
Yeah, that was a
Is
weird
that
thing
what
with
you
wrestling
call
to
it?
me. Was
that
like,
little thing.
that was a popular
Your
thing. Was
groin
like,
is
oh,
literally
suck it.
like okay. Let's
your
all
copies.
imagine we had that V-line. thing
Okay.
that people
The
have.
the usher line.
Yeah,
Okay.
with herpes on it.
Now we know what you like. Now we know what Pedro's into.
From-
Okay.
Herpes,
It's like
of
that-
course,
that
from
Usher
that
line, right?
from that fat chick who totally had sex with Usher.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Or Ryan Reynolds from
Toe
fucking
tops.
Ryan Reynolds from
Any
Planet
movie he's
Terror.
ever been
No,
in
no,
ever.
no,
So
no,
any
no,
movie
no, no.
he's been in
He's talking about
ever.
Planet
Fucking
Terror.
Ryan
Name a movie where
Reynolds.
he didn't have the V-line, bro.
No, I
Don't
know,
play
but
him.
no, but
Talking about the
the
Blade
one
movie?
was the
Sandra
one
Bullock.
movie, the
The
one
one with Sandra
movie,
Bullock.
the one movie that I did know or that I did recognize that
Engagement?
Just
V-line.
friends.
No, it was fucking
Blade Trinity.
Amityville Horror.
I don't like
Amityville
that
Horror.
movie.
You really liked him because that wasn't even like
Yeah,
prominent.
that was
Ryan
like-
Reynolds V-line.
Low key.
Dog.
I didn't know he was
he's
in
had
that.
some pretty
I'm gonna
prominent
put a
V-line
picture
movies.
right here. Of
All right,
the,
I want you
Ryan
to Google
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds dick presentation.
Oh,
No.
shit.
Because that's what a
thought they were
V-line
talking
You'll
is.
get the
V-line.
same shit as the Dave Mirra
I am going to
XXX.
put Ryan Reynolds.
What about
on
like
the
Brad
screen.
Pitt when he's
Do
in
it.
Fight Club? Brad
No
Pitt
No
in
one
Fight
told
Club.
you not to.
from Amityville Horror, and you will see. You're gonna be
No,
watching
but
this.
here's the thing: his V-line is more present than it is in Amityville Horror. Like, just
All right, we're
'cause
talking about
just 'cause
V-lines.
you got a little fear boner doesn't mean that's what I.
First of all,
I'm just saying, I get it.
Wasn't there an
I get
Amityville
it.
movie
I get
made
it.
with
That's fair.
Jessica Biel and
Yeah.
Ashton
Blade
Kutcher?
Trinity.
Yeah, Blade.
Okay,
Blade
and-
Trinity.
Was that the movie they
Yes. Shut
Yeah.
up.
Ashton Kutcher.
made? No, there are 2 Amityville movies.
I mean,
No,
It was
well,
a remake,
not with
right?
Ashton, not with Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher never made an Amityville
Not
Horror movie.
okay then.
He made. Yo, are you thinking of
That was
Butterfly
Butterfly
Effect?
Effect.
I'm like, that's that 70s
I'm also
show.
not thinking that.
2.5 Men is what you're
I've
talking
never
about.
seen it.
It was
You
a
never
good
seen
movie.
Butterfly
It was a good
Effect?
movie.
At the end when he
I understand the
he fucking
idea.
hangs
I
himself with
understand
the
the
fucking
wound.
yeah.
I
Wound in the womb.
understand the idea. You go back in time and you change something. And
Where you got that
fucks
fucking
everything up.
Hey,
that paper piercer
I'm-
and he puts his hand on it. Oh,
Dog,
Hey,
watch.
did you like?
Watch Butterfly Effect if
Hold
you
on,
have
hold
not.
on. Did you like that movie?
Yeah, it was fucking good.
Yeah,
I
I
liked
fuck
it.
with
Yeah,
it.
I
Watch
like that
my
movie.
dog Skip.
Yeah.
I-
Wait, ain't talking about my boy Frankie Muniz?
Fuck Frankie Muniz.
Oh, whoa, whoa,
No,
whoa.
you're talking about
He needs
Agent,
to get
Agent
back
Cody
to the
Banks. Agent Cody Banks.
Agent Cody
Agent
Banks.
Cody
Man, when I
Banks.
saw that trailer for the first time, I was like, I didn't know.
Didn't James
He
Gunn-
turned
who
Paul
wrote
Giamatti-
that one? Didn't James Gunn write that? Who wrote that?
Nah,
Nobody
James Gunn.
knows.
He turned my boy what's his name, Paul Giamatti. He turned him blue with
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
like weird
big,
shampoo.
big fat liar. That's
Yeah.
Big fat
Yeah.
liar.
Oh, big
Shouts
fat liar.
out to Paul Giamatti for always getting well-paying roles for whatever reason.
Apparently-
like,
He's
apparently-
really,
whatever
don't play
except-
Paul Giamatti.
Hey, apparently
I'm
Paul
not, I am
Giamatti's
literally actually.
apparently Paul Giamatti
congratulating him.
is part of the Skulls and Bones Club. Which
Yeah.
I
What
is
never
that?
knew. You don't know the Skulls and Bones Club?
So, you know,
Like some weird pirate shit. Or,
the podcast's about to turn on you.
I know.
It's about to
How
be the
about you both
conspiracy.
Go on, Pedro, have my back.
We're
Hey,
about
Frank,
to
You
go.
want to start on a anti
So
Skull and Bones?
the
Club?
Yeah.
Skull and Bones is like this club that was started at Yale, I believe. Yale
Sounds
or
lame as
Harvard?
fuck.
Yeah,
I
you
feel like
know.
that makes
If
it
you
sound
believe
real
it.
lame. Like
No, but it's been shrouded in like fucking mystery, but it has famous members like the Bush, like
The Bush family.
the Bush
That is the
family,
only
and it
person
has
I have
like
heard that name tied to.
apparently
and that's
Paul
it.
Giamatti's a part. It's like it's one
Paul
of those
Giamatti
like,
and the Bush family.
it's one of
Most
those like
notable
almost
members.
Illuminati sort of like clubs, like cults almost. And then like the way you get in is that like you have to sacrifice like a woman. Of course you do. You have to slice her throat or some shit.
To be fair, she probably look at what she was wearing. I don't know who she was, but
Southside Collection.
Southside Collection. Follow them.
That was all meant for comedy.
If you love good, wholesome family like talk and stuff like that, it occasionally comes up.
That's right.
It occasionally.
I don't remember what we talked about when y'all were on the show, but I definitely remember a couple times being like, "Man, we're off the deep end here."
Yeah. No, trust me.
I feel like we have some
we're there
topics
now.
we
We're-
haven't
we're
talked
there
about 'em.
now.
Okay,
We're
cool.
there now.
I figured as much when we started talking about like James Gunn and rape and stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about James Gunn.
We already
Don't come at
talked
me
about
like
him.
that,
We already
huh?
talked about him.
I don't know.
The weird Kyle. This is a weird thing at A&M. We went to A&M and like there was a.
Brag
like-
about it some more. Why
Nah,
don't you?
we went to college.
Ooh,
we went to
giggle.
college
Oh,
together.
We graduated.
No, trust me, I don't fucking like rub it that hard. But like we went to college together.
I just
and,
got this tattoo right here. He
yeah.
rips his shirt open.
I love Pedro right on his chest.
what?
And Pedro's just like, I love Tamu.
Oh my god,
Like,
Fucking-
he doesn't
I felt like more like in depth
like
with
it's a
like the
rip.
A&M shit than I was. I forgot about Tamu.
Yeah.
Well, Garrett is white.
Yeah, that's
If
true.
y'all are just listening, Garrett is white.
that's the thing with like
They call
you know
it
Kyle,
Tamu.
right? Kyle, your
Yeah.
roommate.
Everyone
Oh,
knows
I know.
Kyle.
I
know
feel
Kyle.
like freshman year there was talks of a fight club.
Fucking Kyle.
Yeah, fucking God. There was talks of a fight club where they would like have to fight each other and shit. And I feel like Kyle was in it. So if we ever get him on the
Kyle
show,
was in that.
but
fight
I don't know
club?
if it was real or not. They would. I feel like
I've
I
hosted
heard
a
there was
fight
fight
club
club.
before.
All it
Like I
was,
said,
it
the
was
Tamu
like-
Fight Club.
They just kept writing checks until the other
The
person
only time.
could not max out their
Yeah.
daddy's
The
bank
only
account.
time I've ever seen Kyle like actually fight was when this one girl. I think this
One
girl.
girl.
No, listen,
Here we go.
listen. This one girl. I think she had a crush on Kyle at one
So
point,
you
but she
fought
lived in
her.
our
Yeah, but
dorm.
look what Kyle was wearing.
Beat her
Yeah.
up.
So she was like, oh yeah, I do karate, and Kyle's like, oh yeah, I used to do karate too, and she's like, oh
This
yeah, show me
hurts.
something, and she was like, come on, slap box me. And Kyle's like, no, I'm not gonna slap box you. She's like, come on, do it, and she like slapped him. He's like, I don't want to fucking slap box you, and she's like, come on, do it, and then she tried to do it again. And he fucking blocked it and like
I blocked,
like,
yeah.
like he,
Oh, what
he
the
blocked it and then like backhand her a bit,
Yeah.
but he did it too hard, and
And
she's
then
like,
his show was canceled.
and she was like, "What the fuck?" And he was
Kyle's
like,
podcast.
"I'm
That's why it never
sorry. It's
came
just
out again.
like I told you I didn't want to do anything." And then I was like, "I'm gonna go outside."
Have any of
This
y'all
girl's-
like ever like almost gotten in a fight with a girl or been in a fight with a girl
The-
or a
the-
woman?
the closest-
I was a kid, so
I'll
it was
tell
a
you,
girl.
the closest I've seen a guy get beaten up by a girl. Hilarious. I'll give you two good stories, and one of them's gonna be shorter
I know one
than
of
the
them
other.
is fucking great.
Is it the Richard one?
No, it's
Oh, shit,
it's
there's
Antonio's
two.
sister.
Yeah, same thing. So
Richard.
one of my buddies, Richard, he used to be the fact checker on our podcast. Which, if you haven't figured by now, we also do a podcast. It's a whole
Southside
thing.
Collection.
Y'all will hear about it later.
We don't
We're,
have any
we're
fact
doing that
checkers.
next. That's the next topic.
Keontae
We're
fact
doing
checks
that.
sometimes.
We'll get there 3 hours in.
We're gonna get there next.
He got beat up.
We said at the beginning, right? Didn't we
Yeah.
say like?
So my buddy Richard, he got beat up by one of our mutual friends' older sister, who was gang affiliated. So she's a little
Oh,
tougher
shit.
than most. And he cried to his mom. Oh, he cried to his brother and said, "Don't tell mom, but I don't like that girl." The closest I've personally come to fight a girl is breaking up a fight between a man and a woman.
Shit.
Oh,
And
damn.
I was having a party, and I felt like it was like what I needed to do because this couple was getting into it, and I was
Oh
like,
shit, a couple.
and I was like, yo, if you want to fight somebody, you're gonna fight me. You're not gonna fight
Mhm.
this girl. And then things escalated. We didn't fight, but we got into
But
it.
you broke it up.
Yeah.
Nah.
That's good.
That's a weird thing where like I remember I was in high school and you ever had it where you put like a quarter into a vending machine and it comes back out the bottom?
Yeah.
So like I was trying to buy some like hot Cheetos or something like that, and I put like
course.
1 quarter.
I thought that you were going to use that as an analogy.
Yeah, you know what
And
it's
I was
like.
I am
Well,
looking
this is
forward
this.
to this.
No, it's exactly it. So like I put my quarter in and it comes out the bottom and it falls on the floor, and I pick it up and this one girl's like, "That's my quarter." I was like, "Oh no, I just put this in and
It
like
fell.
like it
She's
fell."
like, "No,
and
that's
then
all."
she was like, "No, I just dropped it. That's mine." And I was like, "No, but it's not." And she was like, "No, yeah, it is." And she shoved me, and I was like, "Holy shit! Like, what do I do now?" I didn't know what to do, and I was like, "Nah, like it's still my you shoved me, but like this is my quarter."
Yeah.
I
Nah,
got
women,
that.
women have pushed it.
No,
shoved
that's
me,
what I'm
but
saying.
I've never felt close to fighting one
No,
of them.
that's what I'm saying. She like shoved me again. I was like, "All right, go ahead, take it." Like I didn't know what to do. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
you
saying.
can't
Like, I
do
don't know
anything.
what to do.
Back in the day,
I'm not gonna get in a fight with her over a
No.
quarter.
We used to
Not
throw
worth
we
it.
used to throw quarters on the ground and let the poor kids fight over 'em.
What?
Back in the day, it was a good time.
That was back in
Southside
the day.
Collection. Be sure to
No. Here's the
No,
thing.
I don't.
We didn't
They
make
just said
them
she had a
fight.
podcast.
We didn't
No,
make
hold
them
on, hold on.
fight. They just fought because there was chains on the
Society
ground.
made them
Here's the
fight.
thing.
We throw 20s now. Like
Yeah.
$20 bills.
I'm
That-
talking back in the
That's
day.
Southside money.
And
They're
we
real.
make
They're
them
real God's plan
poor
money.
That
motherfuckers.
Bun B money.
That
Yeah,
real
we threw
God's
that
plan
Bun B
money.
money on the ground.
It's literally
So-
dollar bills printed out.
so
with
this,
the
I think,
Bun
is
B's
the-
face on
Oh.
it.
It's a good
This-
segue. Let's
yeah.
just and then
It's-
go ahead.
This, I think, is the perfect segue
We do other things.
into give
To me,
in,
fighting
into
a chick. No, I'm
into
just kidding.
into giving us
this bitch.
Never fought a chick. Never, ever, ever.
what's the story of Southside Collection? What did y'all what like how did y'all come
You know,
together?
honestly, I
There
have
was
to
a
pee.
meteor. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
I'll talk.
Meteor.
Uh,
The dinosaurs were kicking in.
So
the story of Southside Collection begins, but with at least our journey into it begins with me
It's a
answering
journey.
a Facebook ad that he
Oh.
put me onto. It was one of his
shit.
homeboys, and I was like, looking for something to do that didn't like constantly depress me.
Carlos is a badass writer.
I'm not.
Oh, what?
Oh.
What does that mean?
That means I can write words onto a page. I'm not that.
Yeah,
good
but you
of a
like
writer.
write poems, like
No.
essays,
At the time,
Carlos
it was,
adds-
haikus.
Carlos adds personality to stories very well.
So
That's what he does.
So
He's the story guy.
So we were running blogs at the time, and then one day, me and the guy that used to run the business, we were sitting in my backyard, not smoking reefer,
Okay.
and he was like,
This is the Southside business, or
Yes.
okay?
and he was like, I had this idea for this podcast, blah 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 blah, and then if you rewind it a little bit, me and Garrett have been planning a podcast like the one he described to me. So I was like, yo, your boy Garrett, because Garrett's the one that put me on to Homeboy to give me the job. So I was like, Garrett, I can't imagine me doing a podcast like this without Garrett, because he literally word for word described, we have music, we have beer, which is, if you don't know, by the amount of beer we brought
By the
today.
amount of beer that you see
Yeah,
behind me
it's
and in front of
actually-
us right now.
It's what we do.
I got the start of our podcast from 2015
Oh
on my
shit!
phone.
No shit.
Continue
Because-
though.
So because like I said, if you rewind a little bit, me and Garrett had always talked about combining our two loves, getting and drunk and talking about music.
Okay.
And whatchamacallit?
You about to grab your shorts?
Oh, I did. Yeah, no, you spit all. I tried to very slyly wipe it on back. Like,
That was
You're
slight
grabbing
as
on his
fuck.
shorts like you did earlier.
My bad.
No, but yeah, so that was, he just described to me the podcast that me and Garrett had just been sitting there trying to find a name for. And we also, we didn't have the means at the time, but that's just what it was. And then I called Garrett, and Garrett was like, I'm more than down to do it. And then it just kind of took off from there. And then, we did the podcast for a year, and Garrett had the opportunity to buy the company. He's the guy with the cape on. He's the hero of this whole.
Shit.
We would have stopped. We probably would have been ended.
Mhm.
After the company got sold to someone else. But Garrett went and bought the company from Homeboy, and now we're running the company together, and we do the podcast, and we take it a little. I'm not saying we weren't taking it more like seriously beforehand,
Yeah.
but now that it is just us two and the stakes are different, we have definitely
Yeah.
taken
Step
it
it
more
up. Step it up.
seriously.
Hell yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Shit, we're 83 episodes in. This is every episode we have a great time.
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah.
thing about it.
Yeah.
It is so much fun to do. Even when because we usually have two guests on, and more times than not, those two guests end up knowing more about each other. Like, they have more in common. That's the greatest thing about this podcast, is the two guests that we have on that are perfect strangers, have more in common than they ever would have thought. And then they don't realize it till the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
It's always fun. But yeah, so that was the beginning of it. It was the company, and then we did the podcast, and then this guy took over, and then we really made the company what it is after Garrett took over.
Yeah, hell yeah,
That's
man.
nice.
That's
I'm sorry if I overtalked Garrett.
Oh no, I was gonna just give it from my.
Garrett's about to
point
give
of
us
view
a real
eventually.
history.
No,
No,
go ahead,
yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead, man.
So I'll pretty much just add context to what he said. Is
Where's he going? He goes to go bathroom.
anyway,
I like no lie. I've had to pee so fucking bad.
Come on,
Oh
man.
my
Let them
God.
talk.
Yeah, we're gonna stop.
Nah, wait till
One
like
second.
stop,
One
stop,
second.
stop.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. We had to take a little pee break. If you haven't noticed, we have a lot of beer.
Carlos
So,
has the
uh,
smallest bladder.
That's what I'm saying.
Garrett is
It's a
full
cute
of-
bladder, though.
True, true. In the room, at least,
But we wouldn't have known that if we didn't take the break to look.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
we all pee in front of each other. It's just good friendship.
Starting off where we left off, or picking up where we left off.
Garrett, those 40-something beers are really taking a toll
God,
on
dude.
everybody.
Pretty
Garrett,
much
go ahead.
where we're at is Carlos has just told you, his perspective, which is a lot of the
Which is nice.
His
Which
version,
is not.
the wrong version.
So
which
what
is
I would say.
also
I'm the man.
a very decent amount of information to everything that happened.
Still kind of feel shaded.
No?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I promise you it gets better for you. Because literally the only reason I got involved with Southside Collection was because, yes.
Don't blame me.
No, because, yes. I knew Carlos in the past had written skits. He had produced and directed his own skit show, which
Can we find that?
What's that?
Can we still find that kind of shit?
Off the air, I'll tell you about it.
Yeah. No, honestly,
leave it
I'm
on.
telling you right now.
We don't
I'll
want
tell them off the air about.
Okay,
where
no,
to find
that's
it.
we don't need like
we can keep talking.
We don't need a James Gunn situation happening with Carlos.
I won't tell you where to find it, but I will say that when I was shown it, not as a friend, I literally just liked it.
Yeah.
Like it was.
I showed Garrett that after 3 years of knowing him.
Not
as a friend.
I'm
just joking.
It was about a year in.
Go ahead, my bad.
And what I'll say to you is, to give backstory to why it's me and Carlos running this, is because I met Carlos about 4 years ago. 4.5 years ago.
Maybe 5, yeah.
No
almost,
shit,
almost
really?
5, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't go to the same high school or nothing.
Dude,
yeah.
it's
Y'all
crazy.
We met each other at a party.
Y'all seem like old fucking friends.
No, and that's the thing.
We met each other at a party.
No, I met Carlos because of someone I worked with.
Yeah.
And I still am friends with that person, but it's like through that person, it literally ended with we were leaving her apartment one time after all of our group hanging out.
No, after the party, it was the party got raided.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The party got raided by the cops. We were literally too young to be drinking and stuff like that.
But
And they were like, if you have a ride home,
go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah.
Carlos needed a ride home, and I took him home.
And it was like a minute 30 seconds.
Yeah, and
I did not live far from
this
that
is
party.
where about as suspect as it gets, but we exchanged numbers, and a way of, in the conversation it was, yo, if you ever just want to chill, like hit me up. If you ever want to smoke, hit me up. And so we continue to hang out after that, with or without all those people, and with more, he introduced me to other people that I'm very close with today, and got me closer to those people. And it was one of those things that you don't expect to happen.
Literally,
with friends of
if
his.
Garrett was having an off night, like we probably wouldn't have been friends that night, type shit. You know,
dude.
Yeah.
Like we literally just met randomly at a party.
And that's the thing is, it ended up,
and we weren't even introduced really. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
But like as time went on, I mean, I've told them this story like several times. But like when I used to hang out with them, like we would all hang out, drink a little bit, and smoke a little bit.
Yeah.
And once we got to the smoke a little bit, I would
That's where the ideas flow.
I would get very,
real Garrett
I would
came
get
out.
very like there was a wall in front of me, like I didn't know how to talk through it, and so I would just hang out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like these people a lot. Like everyone who's here, it would be like a group of fucking like 15 of us, and I was like, all these people are like great people. And then Carlos and I just continued to hang out, and as time went on, I got introduced to everything he had done in the past, and I was like, man, this guy like knows what he's doing. I know he wants to write. At the very minimum, I know he wants to write. And so a friend of mine that I knew through other shit was looking for a writer for his website, and it was Southside Collection. It was the very beginning of it where he had, I'm comfortable with saying it now, but he had very clearly bitten material off of Patagonia. And
classic.
that
Tell me about that later.
That'll do it.
Trust me, I know it's nice, and as I've said 1,000 times, I will literally on the day I die, when they read my obituary, they'll be like, also, when are you gonna make Patagonia hats again?
Hey, I would just like to say, go on the record, that the hat that you have on now is one of my favorite designs.
Thank you.
Just saying it right now. I think it's a better design, but I'm not gonna lie and say that Patagonia design wasn't pretty dope too.
It was nice. It was nice.
So Carlos and I ended up hanging out a lot. Like Carlos would be that person where you're kind of like, I want to go to this Vince Staples show tonight, but I don't know another person that wants to go.
Vince Staples, dog.
Carlos. I want to go to this Earl Sweatshirt show tonight. Carlos. Me and Carlos literally orchestrated a whole thing where him, two other people and I went to Tyler the Creator when he was.
Oh yeah.
And it's weird how this one comes full circle, but damn, who did we just work for?
Clue.
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we did that too. We
Clue
worked
the
for we worked for DJ Clue's cousin, and had a whole other thing going on with that. But who just put on the Migos concert with Cardi B that canceled because she was pregnant?
Got to get that baby.
Jambalaya.
Jambalaya.
Yeah.
So we went to the first Jambalaya in Houston.
Yeah.
It was not the same as what just happened recently, but we went to the first Jambalaya in Houston where Tyler the Creator was there.
Yeah. I
He
remember that.
texted me and said, "Hey, we can go get free Tyler the Creator tickets if we
go now.
Yeah, if we go
If
now.
we literally
I know,
go now.
I know.
Yeah.
Every time I drive past this spot, because it is right by my house, every time I drive past this spot, I think about the fact that right when I hit it, I turned around, headed to Carlos's house, picked him up. I was in like full workout, like I just left the gym. Shit.
Yeah.
Picked him up, went to my house. We got ready, and we picked up our two friends. Then we hit the.
The whole thing was
at the moment
they were-
I was the weed man, and
they were prepared because the tickets were at the screw shop, the Houston screw shop, and they were prepared to give us 2 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, hey, can we get 2 more for our friends? And they were like, hey, if you pass these flyers out, and they gave us like a mess load of
Oh,
flyers.
hell, fuck yes, you can pass.
And
out.
hell no, we didn't pass them motherfuckers out.
we threw them.
Oh, okay.
That's passing them out.
Yeah.
And also we got.
We
2
appreciate
more.
the great ticket. Yeah,
Oh,
great
yeah.
time. Good time.
We got 2
It
more.
was fucked up. It was fucked up. We were young.
bit, yeah.
Man, you young and barely starting out.
Hey,
literally-
but like you
yeah.
are the Tyler the Creator show, so like if there's any time to do that.
If I'm giving you the entire story, the way it went was I picked Carlos up. I went and got weed. I went and sold that weed.
Okay.
I went and used that money to go and buy a bottle
All right.
and pick our 2 friends up.
No one
And
said
then-
that the Southside story was going to be a clean one.
I would hope not.
All right, y'all know what it was before y'all.
This was 3 years ago, and so which sounds so soon or so
I was about to
recent.
say, I was like, oh, okay.
But a lot has changed since then.
I guess
think
about
your
4.
big ass cat is
Hell was that?
causing a
What
ruckus.
the
they're
fuck?
fighting. They're fighting.
But
outside.
anyway,
Yeah.
I was trying to walk downstairs and your guard cat.
He was just
guarding
laying
the
in
stairs.
the
he just
fucking main
not
steps.
moved.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I even tried to nudge it. Like
No, he fucking hits you with that.
It just
Yeah.
looks at you
Fuck
like
with
no,
you're
it
stupid.
just looked at me like,
Yeah.
oh,
Do it,
is
do
this
it.
Your attempt to move
Yeah.
me.
So
Yeah.
long
It's
story
not gonna
short,
work.
Yeah.
long story
Fucking
short,
famous cat.
we use these free tickets and we go to the show, and then eventually that's our friendship is that's the person that if I don't have anyone to go to shit with, I'm gonna hit up. And also,
What a friendship your last fucking
Hold on.
ever.
Jesus.
That's
And
what I was thinking
I'm
also,
looking at you.
if we don't have shit to do, I know I can hit Carlos up, and there's shit to do now.
Yeah.
Like, it's that type of thing. It was a close friend that I did not expect out
To
of
make
where
so
it came
quickly.
from. Well, so quickly and where it came from.
Yeah.
And then I remember seeing a tweet one time from a guy that was looking for a writer for Southside.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know Carlos wants to do that. He's been looking for writing spots recently anyway. And also, I think he would be a good addition to what this guy is looking for. He hits him up like 3 months later. And
Yeah, 'cause I remember hitting you
Yeah.
up like, your boy ain't hit me up, bro.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna work out, dog. Your boy ain't hit me up, dog. Ain't nothing I can do about it.
And so-
I tried to put the charm on him, and he didn't buy it. And literally, like after I
Appreciate it, Garrett.
after I had told Garrett that, like probably 2 days afterwards, homeboy hit me up like, "Hey," I was like, "Oh shit, hey Garrett, thank you for the opportunity, bro."
yeah, and so
We decided to look somewhere else.
So I think they probably at least went like a month where the 2 of them were working together. Then he brought up a podcast, like where Carlos said, and we literally already had that idea, and that's where this iPhone note comes in because
Shit.
Carlos and I had in 2015, May in 2015, sat down. We were fucking off it after a concert. That's why I brought up Vince.
Early May, late May.
Late May, the last day of May.
Was it
Damn. So that was like 2 days after my birthday.
Was
My
it
birthday's
that-
on the 29th.
Sure,
If
whatever.
we're counting,
So,
Yeah.
so it's tourist season,
Ooh.
and
Was it that Van Staples when he was at
Gemini.
ASAP and Tyler and shit?
no, it wasn't that.
Which one was it? An Odd Future?
No, it was just Vince
I
Staples.
really do think it was.
It was
Vince
after.
Staples.
Oh, the Vince Staples.
Summertime- It was.
I thought it was-
summertime, or-
It was.
Summertime.
No,
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
It was.
No, did we go to the one before
it was-
Summertime?
I think it was
Held
more.
to Wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I
We went to
fucking
both.
love Hell
Yeah.
Can Wait.
No, yeah, we went to
That was
both.
my shit, dude.
Blue Suede.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh,
Blue
Yep.
Suede,
I'm up with
Blue
that
Suede,
screen
Blue
door.
Suede,
That
yeah.
fucking.
So he was in the warehouse green room, and then after that we went to downtown Saucer, and we had a conversation where we talked about the 5. We can talk about this off screen on what we chose because it takes up a little bit of time, but we can talk about the 5 songs you want to hear live, the 3 duos you want to hear live.
I remember shit like that.
And then if you put together a comedy showcase and you had 5 comedians to pick, who would you pick and in what order for what reasons?
So that was like the first like conversation y'all
that
had.
That
as
was
like
that was
like
the first
we had-
idea of like a podcast.
we had always
Gotcha,
had like
gotcha.
in-depth conversation about like our
Yeah.
likes and dislikes and shit like that.
You see that right there is like the birth of like every fucking podcast.
But yeah,
I feel like it takes like
It
takes
still
like
took a little while for us to be like, we
exactly.
Should,
No,
we
it
should record
does.
this.
It
Like,
does. It does.
I
100%.
think
Even
that
then,
was-
we still didn't act on it
Because
when we got
it takes
Yeah.
that relationship that you can have with somebody else, and it's like it's a good friend, or more if it wants to be. But
Yeah, we're gay together.
We're
yeah,
not gay.
no,
Oh.
for sure.
And we fuck with the
Secret
gay. And
Nothing
we,
wrong with that.
And we fuck with the gays. But also, it's
But-
because we're gay together.
But that's exactly
And we like it.
that's exactly how like we started off, because me and Frankie
Oh, we've heard that. Yeah, y'all didn't like each other.
me
No.
and
We
Frankie
got y'all on our
Slow it
podcast,
down.
sir.
Yeah, they heard it already.
No, but like I'm just saying that like that sort of birthing of like a podcast is like
Yeah.
that. It's like you finally get this idea like, you know what? Why the fuck don't I just record this?
It's
Why
like-
don't I record it? Why don't I put it online?
Positive,
and try to be
combustible
entertaining.
energy. Like when you
Yeah.
have someone that when you talk to, you lose track of time, or like I mean, I don't mean for it to sound like as romantic as that.
Hey,
but-
man,
but,
like,
that's
no,
kind of how
y'all
it
are
is. It's like-
close
But
friends.
that's
What's
a
wrong
good-
with
That's
that?
a close
Yeah.
friend.
Romanticize the fuck out of it.
so one day we figured out that we really liked each other.
I'm giving Carlos a hand job under the table, and
Okay.
I'm mushing it.
With what hand?
You don't want to know.
No hands.
Your
With
tie-dye
his foot.
technique,
But
right?
yes,
Yep.
so that was basically the gist of it. Like we literally had this podcast planned before we had like and then a year later we had the opportunity to actually put it into into motion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we had already kind of like we envisioned this already. You know, like
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna talk about this and that. And even then, the podcast today is definitely a different version than the podcast that we
That's
had
how it is, man.
Originally,
That's how
you know,
100% is.
you know, in terms of what we wanted to do and what we wanted to plug, but we've always stayed true to the core, and that sounds more serious than it is because the core is that we want to drink, and we
Frank
want,
and talk shit.
and we want to talk to people that are serious about what they're doing,
Yeah,
Mhm.
Exactly.
and that's probably what you're gonna get the most like. Past if you watch any of our episodes, for someone that hasn't watched it, you know, if you're a fan of the Nothing Special podcast and you tune in, you're gonna realize that our podcast doesn't have a direction, but we have a goal here, and the goal is to inform you on like we've had Champion on before, we've had so many artists like MMA fighters. We just want to know what drives you to get to the point you're at.
I think
type shit because it's kind of like where we're at now. Like you know, like
Yeah.
we've driven ourselves to a certain point, and you know, it's just following up with people.
Yeah.
and I think y'all's I guess format to what y'all do. We're huge fans of Southside Collection.
I appreciate it.
We're
I
huge
appreciate
fans
y'all
of
coming
Southside-
through.
Honestly,
Y'all haven't watched or listened, man. They came through.
honestly,
was a good
honestly,
time.
check these guys out because we're huge fans of y'all. But also, coming up with the episode, this was like the first week in a long time where we didn't really text about topics because we kind of knew like
This would happen.
Southside is
Yeah,
coming
they're
on.
coming
like,
through, so we'll find some
Southside
shit
is,
to talk
yeah,
about.
Oh, yeah.
Southside is coming through. We're fine. Like,
I
we're
texted
gonna
him today
have a
and I was
fucking
like,
episode.
so, like, all I know is we're going to talk about wrestling, right? Yeah, okay.
At
go
one
ahead.
point we
It'll
will.
come up.
Yeah.
I told him at one point we will. I guarantee
And-
you.
and
How
we
we
went-
all lost in the Royal Rumble except for the ones that
That-
mattered.
Now hold on.
Hey,
We at a certain point, so many episodes in a row went by where wrestling was mentioned. We considered like, should we have a wrestling segment?
Should we
But, like,
I mean,
Oh no, go ahead.
Go ahead. Are you sure?
Yes,
All right. So
go ahead.
it's gonna be
I
weird.
talk
'cause-
very long.
No, it's gonna be weird because I feel like nobody's gonna know what I'm talking about.
Cool.
So there's
I
some,
like boys.
I'm
all
already
right, no. There's some wrestling shit, and I feel
Yeah.
like I used to watch Smack. Y'all watch SmackDown?
Never heard of it.
Okay, so SmackDown,
Is that where they down the smack?
the wrestling program SmackDown.
All right.
So like at one point, my parents were like, I feel like I've talked about this here before, but my parents were like, "We're gonna get GEDs," and I was like, "Hey, like good for y'all." But they would.
We're getting drop out.
Yeah, me too. I'm in 5th grade. I'm gonna get a GED. No,
out now.
yeah, no. Just cut ahead.
Yeah,
GED's
yeah.
easy. No. They were we're gonna go with GEDs, so we're leaving every Thursday night, 9 p.m. And I was like, that's when fucking SmackDown comes on.
Do you love me?
That's what I'm
Oh
saying.
my
And
God.
they didn't like me watching that shit.
Yeah.
So like, I'd be like, all right, you'll have a good night. Study hard.
Be
Boom.
there on
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I would-
Like,
yeah,
maybe
get
leave
there
at
early.
6:15
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
know
yeah.
you're not
Yeah.
threatening
So I can
with
see
the
all the
opener.
puppies.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
puppies.
I could on SmackDown and like there's this. It's a weird segment. I feel like I'm the only one who ever watched this episode.
Have you been through that?
Which
like, when
one?
you watch the weird wrestling segment
Yeah,
with
hold
your
on,
parents?
hold on.
No,
Oh,
they
I
weren't
have
there,
that.
but I was
Yes.
watching
Oh,
it.
What segment?
It's your boy Mick Foley,
And
he's talking about like some old football game he used to play, and he's like, I used to play this football game, and like one
It's called
day,
Jackpot.
Smear the queer.
like no, it was like
That's
a
what
video.
it
It was a
sounds like.
video game.
He's talked about.
It was a video game, and he's like, I took my clothes off, right? And
Super
Still
rapey
sounds like what
man.
I'm talking
That's
about.
what I'm saying. And he's like, I played it naked one day.
That still sounds
And then
like
my
what I'm talking
mom
about.
came home, and I feel like nobody ever knew what I was talking about. And I was like, y'all remember when Mick Foley said he was playing some like football game naked? And nobody knows what I'm talking about. But y'all know what I'm
That
talking
sounds
about?
like you're
Never.
fantasizing.
See, that's what I'm saying. See?
I have watched countless hours of like old school like
But you never watched
attitude era,
SmackDown like that.
attitude era like
I watched
WWE,
SmackDown
WWF.
like that, bro.
When
I
it
only
was
had
9 o'clock,
I only had 5 channels.
When it was, that's what
For,
I had.
Yeah.
for the record, I've never seen that
Wayne's
fucking
Brothers.
segment.
You watch Wayne's Brothers?
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah,
of course.
dude. Fucking
We're
sister,
brothers.
sister.
We're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Singing.
Da-da-da-da.
Give us a high five.
And then they were like, "Fuck that shit." And
I
they
like-
cuts into some.
and then-
I like sister, sister.
Oh,
and then
I watched that as well.
Tia and
Tribe Called Quest.
Samara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Electric
shit,
Relax-
that's right.
For all you fans out
out
there,
there.
Electric Relaxation
Yeah,
was
that-
a song that would cut in between.
Dog,
the
I totally
Wayne's
forgot
brothers.
they did that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, that was hot. Yeah.
Oh my
Ding,
god.
ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was like in like season 2 or something. Because
Questlove is
before
getting
that, it was.
paid.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Questlove
I totally forgot
is
about that shit.
rich.
I totally forgot about that.
What were you saying about sister? My bad. But that was a wrestling shit. I feel like nobody knows what I'm talking about. But I remember watching it and being like, "Why did he say that?" Like I'm like 8 years old. And I'm like hearing.
He was
some old-
talking to you.
I'm hearing some old man like I was playing some wrestling game naked and playing. I was like, "This isn't wrestling. What the
I'll
hell?"
wrap it into I know Carlos and I
Oh, when y'all were
Maybe.
8.
played games naked. No. I think the thing that brought Carlos and I together the most
Weed.
was weed
It
helped.
was weed.
But also every time we hung out and smoked weed and drank beer,
Mainly
it
weed.
was that we were both looking
weed. Good. Sorry.
we were both looking
This is the
we
last
were
episode of
both
Southside.
looking for someone we were both looking for someone to hang out with that understood exactly what the fuck we were talking about with shit.
I understand. I'm looking
I
at
wasn't
you and I'm
looking for
getting
nobody.
it.
And that is what will lead me to my main point.
I found a
of-
white guy that wasn't
No.
as racist as all the other white guys I knew.
Me
that
too.
probably helped.
I
know,
we had
but,
more in
like-
common.
So after our time started with hosting the podcast
Uh-huh.
with the old owner, things happened in between, and then, like I said, we had that Patagonia design, and that was cramped down on, and we had to stop. And he freaked the fuck out because it was at the exact same time as he was moving. And so I remember going through a weird point where I was going to have to go through somebody I knew personally and beg them for the money that he was charging.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And I even
I
told
prepped
you-
3
I even
days
told you-
ahead
Wait a minute.
No,
Beg
so-
them-
so-
but you're
as-
saying for the money that he was charging
Because
for
no,
what?
well,
To buy the entire business.
To back up a little bit,
Oh.
when this subject came up, it was the price.
You were involved at this point.
I've always been involved.
Yeah, he was
you
involved
were-
from the start.
Okay.
But
Carlos
I
and
remember
I have always
Derek's.
been
You were
involved.
writing already.
I'll say
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
Yeah. He had already written and we were probably, what would you say, like 20 episodes into the podcast?
Yeah.
And
But
at the exact same time,
the guy that was selling it, and I told Garrett this at the time, and it kind of unfolded onto itself where I was right. I was like, he's trying to upsell.
He's trying to upsell, and also...
And then that Patagonia thing came down, and the price came down to where I was talking about, you know, like...
Let's get on this
shit.
shit.
Yeah. And then, I mean, even then, like because Garrett, you know... but, you know, responsibly so, Garrett had a lot of questions about how this should go, you know, like... Should I buy it? Should I do this? Or should we just start our own thing? You know, type shit. And that was one of the things that I realized is that we've created a name for ourselves. We could start over again. We could do this and that, because really there was a point where the brand growth stopped, and then we joined, and then it became a whole different thing. We became the faces of the brand.
We became
fuck.
Okay.
I just got outbid. Sorry.
You're good. I'll jump in.
For which one? Which one?
I got outbid with 2 seconds left. It's over. Slim Calhoun's album.
No,
Done with it.
I'm gonna tell you, oddly enough cut off at the right point, because right when that point hit was also when what did Carlos say? I'm sorry.
I was talking about like the point where we got to before you bought the company, and how we were already doing something, etc., etc.
Pretty much
He doesn't remember what he's talking about.
When
What's the next question?
I do know.
What's the next question? What's the next question, yo?
Put the theme song right here.
The point was,
that fake ass fucking Austin Powers ass song.
Nah, that's not what it is.
Hold on. Go ahead and think about what you're talking about. Where did y'all pick that license free?
Hey, that's not a fucking Austin Powers.
We're gonna go.
We'll tell you off mic.
It's definitely called Groovy
That's
Baby.
not what it's called.
We're gonna.
Cashman, don't listen to these motherfuckers.
Literally, the point was that it got to that point where we were already the faces of the brand. I know exactly what I was gonna say. When the Patagonia shit happened, Carlos and I were the ones who were addressed in the email.
Oh wow!
Oh, shit.
Saying, "Hey, we see what you're doing."
That was on my
that
1
means,
year with the company.
Were you
anniversary.
scared? Like, what the fuck?
Well, no, that means because that means someone else was running the show, and we were hosting the podcast, and at our very max, we're, hey, these are the hats we have, and also we contributed a lot, Carlos more than I, to ideas for design. No, because the Make America Trilligan design that we have right now, that was Carlos's idea, and we were making it a long time before we hooked up with Bun B, and yes,
we stopped because we thought Donald Trump was about to lose.
We stopped because we thought it would be,
no, it's not gonna go anywhere.
Like, that won't be
Everybody
popular
thought
ever
that
again.
shit.
And
Literally,
boy, did y'all get lucky.
You would think I wouldn't even. I would trade it all.
Yep,
I would trade it all for how it should have been. But literally, the day after the election, people were blowing us up about like, yo, we need this hat back, because we took it off like the day of the election. We're like, all right, here's your last chance to get it.
Good. We were in a sale,
Nice.
Did y'all expect that shit? Like,
no,
nobody did, right? Like, I remember thinking,
the hat you can see here.
This
I'll
is your
I'll
fault.
put a picture. The hat you can see here. This is the hat that they're referencing right now, and I'll have it up on the screen.
Cool. I'll send you a picture of Bun B wearing that.
Bun B's wearing the hat right now.
But like, that was the thing was, and so that happened, and then eventually he wanted to sell the company because he was already leaving. So he already wanted to sell it, and then Patagonia hit him up as he was looking at offices. They hit me and Carlos up because literally on the website, if you go there, we were the names that were mentioned the most.
Yeah.
And so they hit us up, but he got the email and was told, stop making these shirts and hats. And so to him, he thought, oh, the company's nothing anymore. Like, this is our bread and butter.
Because with him, he was already done with it.
Well,
this guy was already like,
But
he was out of the picture to the point.
What he was going to do was either sell me the company at a very big price, or he was going to keep the company and I would manage it. No, he also had other buyers, but what I was trying to push for was I was going to manage it. Carlos and I were going to run it, and we were going to continue what we were already doing.
Homeboy's point at the time was when he wanted to sell it, there was no like drama, and then
Yeah.
when he could
Okay.
sell it,
The
drama-
Patagonia was in.
and then
Yeah.
suddenly the
I
the
woke
price
up
came
to
down
his-
to
Yep.
to goddamn nothing.
I woke up to his phone call, and he was trying. He was trying to fire sale it, get it out of
Yeah,
his hands,
exactly.
because all these problems occurred. And
Cetera,
as
blah,
I was
blah, blah.
buying it, I was reading the documents
Yeah.
of what they sent him, because what I had told him from the start was, "You're not selling it to anybody but me. Like, you are
Yeah.
not
At
gonna
this
let,
point, yeah.
you are not
Yeah.
gonna let anybody else." I was trying to find ways to get the money that I needed to buy what the company was before that email.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was down to ride no matter what. I wasn't trying to
We-
ride. I wasn't
And
trying to ride
that's
off of
probably
what
I
our.
will say the moment probably Southside was really born was when me and Garrett met up.
Yep.
And he said, "Will you hop on this adventure with me? Is it worth the money? Is it worth the time? Is it worth this, and that?" And I told him, it's worth this, and that at this.
Yeah.
And like that was before the powers that be would hey, I wanted an option. The powers that be.
For 99 cents.
You goddamn right.
Killing it, Carlos.
But at the time I was,
That's my dad's name.
It is my dad's name.
That's my dad's name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for real. I don't mean to
Yeah,
Is your
sidetrack
dad
you.
my
You're
dad? My dad?
You are my dad.
Hopefully.
Are you Cuban?
No, my
Okay,
dad's
Carlos
Carlos and I went to Axelrad.
And we talked.
We
We
sat
talked
down.
about what would make it make sense.
Well, no, because Carlos was out
God.
at that point.
Yeah.
Carlos
I was out as fuck.
Yeah.
That
Carlos-
day. Yeah, I got
Carlos
fucked
was
over.
defected.
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, what if I told you I was taking over Southside?
That barely helped.
Can we sit down
Right?
and talk?"
That barely
It
helped.
very barely helped, because he still thought that I was just gonna run the face value, and there would still be the other guy.
Yeah.
And I said, "No, I'm gonna buy the whole thing.
Mm.
I'm gonna run everything. It'll all run out of my house. You and I will run this." And from that point is when the business started. I will stop banging on the table.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
He
Bang on harder,
I
bro.
haven't heard it once. Like.
Yeah.
No,
Has
it's
he?
when
No, he
the-
hasn't.
Yeah.
I
He's
just
been very
did.
self-conscious
Yeah,
about
I just
it.
did.
Oh,
No,
he
you
did?
You
Oh,
lightly
yeah.
pushed
Very-
the table.
yeah, he was
yeah.
like-
Anyway,
Even
that's
the table's
when
like,
it
harder,
started.
harder.
Do it to me.
It's when it started, and it's also when Carlos and I decided that we were running this shit together. Where day to day, when it comes to reading the emails or getting the orders in,
Yeah.
I see all of that.
Mhm.
I do run it, but nothing happens without me going through Carlos, because what stemmed from that friendship was
Mhm.
100% trust in us running this business.
I will say
100%.
And that's why,
Good.
I will say I'm an insecure person when it comes to certain shit like that.
Mhm.
I'm also very, very believing in the ideas that I have. But at the same time, when I think I'm 100% right, I need to run it by someone like Carlos.
Yep.
Where we do share ideas,
Yep.
but we separate on different things.
Yeah.
And so I need to see what he thinks about it. And then there's also been things like with our HTX NWO shirt, 100% him. Or Make America Trill Again. Literally, our number one seller runs through Carlos' idea, where we already made Make America Trill Again hats. They were very low budget. And it runs into an idea I wanted to mention earlier with shitty brands that are just making things to make you happy right off the bat.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make you shirts that you want to wear day
Yeah.
to day.
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to make you hats that you want to put on because it fits you right and you like what it has on. I put
You
this.
you want that sense of quality in the stuff
Yes.
that you
Of
put
course.
out,
Of
right?
course.
the
It's
hat I'm
100% my
wearing
thing.
right now is I wear this to work because it's okay to wear to work.
You can see that bitch. I wear this bitch to work all these.
But-
all of
And that's
these.
the thing. I'm trying to say, I want to make shit you can wear day to day,
Yeah.
feel a certain pride about it, but also not worry about it. The Make America Trill Again is the only one that is controversial,
But even then,
but at the
it's
same time,
I thought of a controversial one last night. I haven't told you about it yet.
I'm down.
Yeah.
But
let's steal
Write
it.
that down.
but the thing about it is
Tell us, Carlos.
the Make America Trill Again, we're about to have Bun B make a video come out where he's wearing the shirt because
Get
I
Get pimpsy.
because what we were already doing
Stop.
That's great. That's great. That's great. I'm sorry. R.I.P. Vinci. Yeah. But also, it's like, that's why I knew I could trust to go into business.
One
with
time,
them.
this chick called me Pimp C. I said, "Slow your fucking roll."
But yeah, like,
And we
Because
had
your name is Carlos?
Yes.
You were 1 second away, dog.
Yes. No, yeah, I was like,
I go by Pimp C all the time.
I know.
Nah,
You got
yeah,
me, though.
I
You
had
were
to-
1
I had
second
to.
away.
no, like, for real, like, I couldn't be where I'm at personally or where this business is at without Carlos. And
Yeah.
that's why I'll never stop riding for
I
that
won't.
dude.
I won't
Yeah.
say that. I
Nah.
will say that this is what we both wanted, whether or not we knew we wanted it. You know, the
Mhm.
job that we have today. This is what we wanted, whether or not we knew it. If it wasn't for shit, like he just said, if it wasn't for me, but shit, he's the one that told me about the job.
Mhm.
So if it wasn't for him, you know, so
Yeah.
I
it just
told him-
reverts back to the things that this all started because we did things we wanted to do. Like, I wouldn't have done this if like a podcast opportunity or a writing job, because I'm not I didn't go to school for anything. You know, I'm not a fucking writer.
Yeah.
But I am opinionated, and I know what I like and what I don't like and what I think should be talked about, etc. But like, that's one aspect of it. That I don't think that anything like that had to do with anything we're doing right now. And I think that, like, I probably wouldn't have the courage to do what I'm doing right now if it wasn't for Garrett sitting right next to me across. Shit, our very first episode.
We look like a news table.
We look. No, I love the news table shit. I still want the news. I still
Okay.
like that. That's my deep dark.
First
passion.
episode is that
But-
like, man.
but-
That's that
shit's
rough
nerve
shit.
wracking.
Also,
we
by the way-
spent 35 to 40 minutes just doing the intro.
By the way, you can't find the intro or the first episode on the
Why
internet.
not? Where's it at?
It's gone.
Someone's wife won't let us put it out. And that's it.
But
Okay.
that's
And
not
that's
what.
it.
But
Our
The
first
second episode
but
was
even
dope
then,
as fuck.
like any like
Second
mo-
episode.
But like most good TV shows, the pilot episode usually isn't shown. When the pilot episode is shown, that means it's the sign of a great episode. But even then, most pilots aren't shown just because they replace this or that actor, etc. And
So-
I think that's something that we should have done, or something that we should have implemented, because when we started the first episode, we literally did it off the hopes and dreams of what we knew and what we did. Shit, the first guest we had was a friend of mine since elementary school that happens to be a rapper. And
Mine was a friend of work
from
that just loved podcasts.
That St. Arnold guy?
Yeah.
from the oldest
Yep,
craft
I remember
brewery
that.
here in
Yeah,
Houston.
there we
So
go.
it was like
Yeah.
it was like our first episode was like tailor made for the situation we were put
But
in.
it was
Yeah,
great
100%.
because it was the oldest craft brewery in Houston.
Yeah.
It was just perfect
Yeah.
where we started the show with St. Arnold.
Yeah.
There
Sorry,
you go.
on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, no,
I didn't
No,
mean
but
to-
that was it. It was just like that's what I was trying to like defer from. Like Garrett said, like there's none of this without me, but like literally he's the one that like I'm not saying he put Jesus on the cross, but
Yeah.
he told Jesus
Is
the
that
cross to
not
be put
Pontius
on,
Pilate, right?
Yeah.
etc., etc.
I was best friend with Pontius. I was like,
No,
yeah,
that was
I
a
think
bad
you should
example.
do it.
I was
He's
just
not Pontius Pilate, right?
trying to be funny. I was just trying to be funny.
I've never heard that phrase in my life.
Garrett did not put Jesus on the cross.
Oh man.
The second
I was just
time.
trying to be funny.
Yeah,
But no, but yeah,
conspiracies.
there is like, it just makes sense. This is what naturally evolved into from a friendship to this. This is where we're at right now. Like I said, we did not know each other dating back,
That's
far.
nuts to me.
We didn't
That's
go to
crazy.
elementary. We
And
didn't
a
go
lot
to
of
middle,
and like
we went to high school.
and,
together.
and a lot of
that's-
people wouldn't.
That's nuts to me because like I can tell. I guess the set. I guess in lack of a better terms, like the chemistry that y'all share is like fucking
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
And so the fact that like this friendship of y'all's is not,
Even then,
is-
I
is
don't even
not,
really like this guy that much.
No, yeah, no, I
Hear
can tell.
that?
No, I can
Hear
tell.
that? That's what I'm talking about.
Bro, y'all started your own podcast?
I hate this
Fuck
motherfucker.
these guys.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
got it.
all
We
right,
got
all
it.
right,
Don't
all
worry
right.
about it.
But,
Alright, fuck y'all.
but yeah,
Frankie and Carlos sounds way worse
It
than
is-
Garrett. and-
Let's start our own podcast.
it is.
Yeah.
A,
Southside Special.
I will say,
Nah.
No, okay.
as small as
Nothing
That
collection.
sounds better.
Nothing collection.
The Always Special podcast.
South
Southside
Special.
Special.
South
Come on,
Special. No, we got that one.
I've
Southside Special,
I've gotten a
Southside
Southside
Gary's like,
Special before.
fuck,
It
you
costs
know-
$6.50.
Oh nah.
I already
Nah.
LLC'd Southside Collection. I'm not fucking y'all up.
But I will say if you have the opportunity to work with someone that you really do respect like their opinions on
Yeah.
and stuff like, and especially in a business like this where this is what it's about. Me and Garrett, we sit there, we talk about things. We talk about things that like maybe sometimes he feels some way, I feel the other way. But we always walk out of the room respecting each other. And very
Yeah, that's
rarely
important,
do we
man.
do disagree. But when we do disagree, it is heated because we are good friends.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
you just if you're gonna choose that endeavor with your friend or your best friend, just
I'll say it like this: like to reiterate what he said is, go into business with people you trust.
Yeah.
Like go into doing shit with.
100%.
Excuse me. We've had a lot of beer.
Yeah, we
burps.
have.
I've had the burps
That-
hardcore this episode, but go into things with people you trust because it's not like Carlos and I have been there for each other like moment for moment for moment for moment, but like we got to know each other, and then since then we have literally I know shit like I'll guess shit. And I'll be right at that moment.
Yeah.
Like, yo, he'll be
There's,
like,
there's
yo,
things like I haven't even like Garrett has this uncanny ability to say some things that I'm like about specific people that I'm
Y'all are such best friends right now. I
No,
feel
like,
like
hell
yeah,
yeah,
right? I feel that shit.
but like
it's
things
that-
that like I haven't even told him about certain things that he said that he was just spot on. We're like did I tell you something that I
That's
don't
the
remember?
thing.
That I
Right
don't
now,
remember
yeah.
telling you?
Put a little heart around
I'll,
them.
I'll tell you
that.
that, like 2 years ago, I'll give you the perfect example. One day, me and him were sitting at a bar watching the UFC, and he's like, "Hey, are you talking to so and so?" And I had just started talking to so and so, and I was like, "No."
Damn.
But in my mind, I was like, "Who are you talking to?
Yeah,
like, how'd
what's
you
up?"
know?" So this guy and sometimes vice versa.
Yeah.
We're good at calling each other's like next step.
yeah, that's the
Even
best
if
way
we
to
don't
put
know,
it.
that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
yeah,
The
that's what we
dude-
do.
The dude has caught me either one step ahead,
Or
or
don't say
or,
I've caught you doing something.
no,
You guys
or,
are in lockstep.
or he's literally seen like
You remember that
he-
time at TJ's party?
Good old TJ.
He's caught me 2 steps behind before.
Recess, you know what I'm saying?
No, but like
TJ Detweiler.
I'll just tell you straight up.
No. We're not
right,
gonna
I
do
won't.
that. We're not gonna do that. I'll tell you later. But yeah, we ain't gonna
Carlos
do that.
caught me doing some shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway,
Always.
the
I want to
thing
hear that
about
shit after the
the
show.
thing about this business and the thing about this friendship is it all makes sense to where nothing that happens is
Mhm.
gonna be like detrimental.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if we get it, and occasionally we do get at each other.
Yeah, we don't.
Because at this
we
point
don't
in the
agree with
friendship,
certain
yeah.
ideas, or some ideas fall
I
flat.
think racism is ridiculous.
And I think
And
it's
he
great.
doesn't.
I'm like, yo,
Build the wall.
resegregate.
Yeah.
See, that's how much I don't actually believe what I just said. I said
Garrett's not a
segre-
racist.
segregate.
Garrett's actually lost more white friends just being PC than he has being racist.
Trust me. Check my Facebook 2 years ago. But anyway,
Go Trump.
That's when he was an ally of the people. Since then, he's needed every white person on his side, so he's kind of tamed it down a little bit.
I just haven't been online.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Comic Con just came up. Did y'all like? Was there any trailer that like really blew y'all away or anything?
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Godzilla. I think honestly, if I had to pick, I think Godzilla was probably my favorite trailer. Second after that was
Yeah.
definitely Shazam.
I don't know. I feel
No.
weirdly about Shazam.
Here's the thing. I will.
No, but like
no, I like Shazam because
I'm gonna say
if-
something real quick before you kick that shit off.
If-
I gotta pee before like we
God
get into
damn
this
it.
shit. I gotta pee.
No, go ahead. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Keep
I
it
can
going.
talk about Shazam.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
I promise to God, I'll keep it going.
But every time I should
No, go ahead. Get out of here. Shazam surprised me, and it probably surprised a lot of people because it took a different pace than the normal DC movie, right?
Yeah.
Would you say so? But
most def.
it is the only DC movie that is not an independent DC property. They are doing this with New Line Cinema. The same way.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, because New Line Cinema, because it's kind of like back in the day when Marvel ran out of money and they started selling their properties.
No shit.
And-
They sold it to like
and
fucking
Hulk,
Fox and
and
Sony.
yeah, and so for Shazam, that's one of the that's the only movie that is produced with DC and New Line, like with another producer in mind, and that's New Line Cinema. And so I feel like it kind of has a Spider-Man effect, where Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man, was produced by Sony, distributed by Marvel. And I feel like that's gonna fall in line where New Line had a say in it, because this movie looks unlike any DC movie we've
100%, and that,
Right?
and yeah, 100%, and I agree with you on that, because this is the first DC Comics film.
Get a little closer.
This is this is the first DC Comics film where like I've actually watched the trailer and I've been like, this actually looks really fun to watch. This is like they've definitely ditched the whole dark and moody sort of feel that every DC movie has. The only other DC movie that I remotely remember seeing like a trailer,
comedic breaks or
that I remember seeing a trailer and being like, fuck, that looks really good, was Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
and Wonder Woman was
really good.
Awesome.
Yeah, really good.
Wonder Woman is great. I'm super excited for 1984 Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I think.
Shit. Apparently, they showed. They didn't release
it. It was behind closed doors.
They didn't release it to the mainstream, but they did show film footage from the next Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and it was a villain. It was
what's her face from
she's from SNL.
God damn it. My buddy was literally I made him because he was failing to explain it to me.
Yvonne, who's the villain?
No, Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
There it is. Kristen Wiig.
She plays Cheetah, right?
She plays Cheetah, which like honestly, I don't know shit about like Wonder Woman other than like a couple of stuff.
He did it again.
Second time.
I just forget.
So I don't know shit about Wonder Woman, but
yeah,
the first film really, really got me excited for the second one.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy about that. But going back to Shazam, that movie looks just fun. Looks fun to watch.
Shazam's Captain Marvel, but DC, right?
So Shazam his first name was Captain Marvel until Marvel came and is like, yo, dog. That's kind of our thing. That's kind of us.
Have to chill on that?
So, like, can you just, like, maybe change his name? And DC actually, like, kind of played along. They're like, all right, we'll call him Shazam, I guess. And there you go. But from what I understand, like, or what I remember was that, wasn't The Rock supposed to play,
Black Adam?
Black Adam, yeah, which is Shazam's, like, main villain, isn't it?
But, so, and as far as I remember, is he was given Black Adam, and then he was given another movie by DC. So I don't know if he's playing both characters, or if they were like, "Hey, yo, pick one of them." But he has been considered now for two DC characters.
You know what I will say.
And one time for the Rock though, he is the highest paid actor of the last 3 or 5 years.
Much respect for the Rock,
and that's not me just guessing. That's Forbes putting it out there, because they do like the 100 top paid actors every year, and
over 123. I think 123 million is what he did for this past year.
That is so ridiculous.
And dude, honestly, when it comes to the whole trail, like Comic-Con trailers, I will say that this year's Comic-Con seemed a little weak. It seemed a little weak.
But at the same time, as time goes by, all of these studios and stuff like that have their own Comic-Con. Like
their own sort of presentation.
Marvel has like the D23,
very true,
and stuff like
very
that.
True.
Like all these studios still have their own thing to release stuff.
But like I feel like every Comic-Con that comes by, there's always I can name usually like 5 trailers right off the back of my hand.
Yeah.
This year was the first year where I was like, okay, we got Shazam, which was dope.
Aquaman
does not look good.
Shazam looks
Thank you.
Aquaman
does not look good.
Aquaman look horrible. Aquaman.
I was ready for this. If you look at my Twitter the day before, I was like, I'm ready to be disappointed by Aquaman.
It was like at a certain point at the end, it's like there's a war going in Atlantis, and they're all riding dolphins. It looks shitty.
That looks it like you want to.
And I hate to shit on another DC movie because it is easy to.
It's so easy to do.
Yeah. But they especially when you put out 2 trailers, one for Aquaman, one for Shazam.
Shazam even
looks exponentially better.
But even then, did it look that good? I don't think it looked that good.
Shazam?
I don't think it looked that good.
That's what I'm saying.
It looked like a fun movie, but it didn't look like.
I feel like y'all are trying for that Marvel shit. Got it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
No. But
no, okay.
I know. I feel where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Where they're coming. They're
now they're trying to be funny.
They're coming for the lulls.
Yeah.
But if you're a fan of Shazam or if you're familiar with Shazam, you know that that's kind of always been the tone of the comic book.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
a little. It's a kid that's
It's
like
literally
that.
a man.
Yeah.
If you liked Tom Hanks's Big, it's the same thing, but a superhero.
But superhero. Yeah.
It's a kid that ran across these circumstances and now he's dealing with them as a kid
Yeah.
in a grown man's body.
So with Shazam, they had Shazam, they had Aquaman. That fucking movie looks garbage. I'm sorry.
Shazam?
No,
Aquaman.
Aquaman looks fucking
Aquaman
horrible.
looks.
Hey, look at Arthur talking to the
That's
fish.
what I'm saying.
God.
I would have been laughing too. I don't give a fuck what he does.
I'm sorry, but like, I don't mind Jason.
Why
Momoa.
should I care?
I don't mind Jason Momoa.
No.
But like,
He looks like a tough ass Aquaman.
does,
But
yeah.
he's not a fucking good actor.
No,
dude.
the thing is, like-
he's just not.
The fact
I haven't seen him in enough things
Is
outside of the DC.
is he a leading man?
What do they
He's
call it
in
now?
Game of Thrones.
DC
Game of
Universe
Thrones.
gave it a new name now. It's not DC Universe or DC.
Oh, what's it called?
It's like
We want to be Marvel 18.
Dude, but like Jason, I just don't see him as a leading man. Supporting character Aquaman and Justice League,
No, I
I
feel
fuck
yeah.
with.
But even then, when
I fuck with.
I watched Civil War, which came
was
out a
bad
while
in
before
Justice League.
Justice
Justice
League.
League
Civil
was
War,
bad.
it was good. When I first saw Justice League in the movie theaters, I thought, hey man, that wasn't that bad. That was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched Civil War, and I went back and I watched Justice League, and I thought, this is really fucking bad. Like, this is fucking bad.
If we're actually gonna compare the
Yeah,
two,
you know what? Like, I don't like this.
Yeah, that shit.
Aquaman, a lot of people like it. The trailer, I didn't like
I did not feel that at all. The Fantastic Beasts Part 2. I fuck with the Harry Potter universe. I fuck with
So do
Fantastic
I,
Beasts.
And I still
I haven't-
feel like they're going too.
I haven't.
fuck with-
I haven't watched the trailer.
I fuck with.
I haven't,
I
just
fuck with
because-
Fantastic Beasts 1.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good like little film.
I feel like they're going too far. They're
I
trying
can
to
see that.
stay away.
No, well,
I could kind of see that though.
if you're a casual Harry Potter fan, it seems like they're going too far. But Fantastic
I
Beasts.
read every film.
But Fantastic.
Book.
You
So
know,
have I.
You didn't let me finish, homeboy.
No.
I'm not
All right,
casual.
I'm gonna pause
No,
everything.
but Fantastic
No.
Beasts is the natural
All right, you
continuation
can
of the story.
continue where you're at. Pedro just said he read every book.
So
But,
did I.
but
He did not
but so
read
is-
every book.
But yeah, because
I did.
No
Audio
no.
book. He listened to every audio book. That's
No, I
different.
read the
Can I
shits.
get an amen on every
Amen,
audio book?
Amen.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck
I
you.
know,
I
but
feel like that's
he
I
read
already
every
know.
book.
But I audio
You-
book now. I will
That
say
read
that.
every
took
book.
more
No,
dedication.
I was an Amazonian before.
But Fantastic
Prime
Beasts is still a
existed,
book.
and I was getting
Yeah.
them shit.
So you.
Did you read it page?
Oh no, I'm not backing it up. But I'm saying there is a continuation that didn't just start because of the movie.
All right.
Oh yeah,
You
I
know,
know
I'm
that,
talking about
yeah,
the Harry
for sure.
Potter movies.
Yeah, no,
you,
but that's
you
what I'm
read
saying.
them?
Yeah, of course, I read them all, page by page.
He listened to them. That's different.
cute. Yeah, that's adorable.
Yeah, that is cute,
No,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
I put in the work.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, you
actually-
didn't
yeah, I actually
speak
cared.
for it. Speak on it.
I was literally the first in line.
Speak, King.
I was
Speak.
for the non 3D version of the last Harry
Oh.
Potter. I was the first in line, and
Shit.
only by 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, me and my homeboy realized we were the only people not dressed like wizards, and that's
Yeah,
probably,
yeah.
I know
that's
that's
probably why we were first in line.
Yeah,
Because everyone after us had like those $180
Fucking
Sky
wands.
Mall,
Yeah.
Sky Mall
Jesus
wands
Christ.
and the
Yeah.
in the robes that draped down to their ankles, but it didn't go past their ankles. It draped down to like they got that bitch fitted. Like
Yeah.
what house are you?
The shit was tight.
Oh,
I'm Gryffindor.
I
took the test.
I took the test
Yeah.
as well. I am Hufflepuff.
Oh, I respect that. Like,
You're
I ain't gonna
no,
lie.
bitch. Like, I don't really.
Hey!
I just feel like I don't know, but I'm
Ain't nothing wrong
offended.
with that.
But I feel offended that he thought I was Hufflepuff. Like,
I
I'm
feel
not.
like
Do you want me to check it right now?
I feel like
No,
on
go
one
ahead and check it.
or one or more occasions
you
have,
think you're
you
like
have read.
Good
Slytherin or
acting.
Gryffindor.
Fuck,
or some
no,
shit.
I'm,
What do you
I'm
think you're?
Gryffindor. That's
You
exactly
think you're
who the fuck-
Gryffindor,
no,
but you
I'm
don't really know.
Gryffindor.
Oh, I
You're
know
faking
I'm
it.
Gryffindor.
I am
Y'all-
100%.
y'all
I
faking
took
it.
this. I took this quiz.
All right,
twice.
y'all gonna make me pull
Y'all
this bitch
thought
out.
y'all were Gryffindor.
All right,
but,
hey,
like,
wait. Okay, if we're gonna do this, Frankie goes first. Go
why?
Ahead. Go ahead, Frankie.
Because
Go
he
ahead.
called it.
Yeah, go
Do
ahead.
it.
Hold on, it's loading, man.
I'm brave as fuck.
Y'all don't have the best internet in
I'm
this bitch. I'm
hey,
sorry to
tell
break it to
Pedro,
you.
that's his
It's
house.
also true.
No, we don't.
It's true.
We really fucking don't.
Oh my god, how do I start this motherfucker?
I fight
Well,
the
I'll
troll
tell
in
you
the first
this.
movie. I tell you
I'll
right
let
now.
you know what 5 songs I wanted to hear live first, and then I'll go to Carlos. and then
That's
whenever
how
he
you.
gets
Wait,
up-
what?
That's how you know what you are.
This is part of.
It
Southside
ain't loading,
for me.
yo. I can't do it. It ain't
All right,
loading.
my
All right,
5
we're
songs were "Purple Haze,"
Jimmy Hendrix.
Ooh,
Can't Tell Me Nothing.
Fuck yeah.
He would play it at the.
And it turns out I've actually hit one of my 5. The next episode,
They were at the same concert we were at.
Yep.
St. Pablo.
Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With.
I heard that once. I got a video of it.
I want to see Zero live singing the Mo City Dawn
Yeah, of course you
freestyle.
do. Yep, 100%.
And that was the last
You have
one.
my list on there?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I don't have
Carlos's was
Party in the USA.
Bohemian Rhapsody,
Not gonna happen.
Power,
I
Impossible.
love AIDS, bro.
You
What are you talking
didn't see
about?
Power when Kanye
Power?
came through.
I did.
the what?
The what? That's not gonna happen either.
Billie Jean,
Rip.
Party All the Time.
Oh yeah, so I wanted a bunch of dead people at Eddie Murphy. Okay.
My
So
bad.
what?
I was like, damn, I thought you were a realist.
Alright.
My
Fine, okay, you know
girl
what?
and
Here's the thing. Here's oh, okay, you got,
Oh, we have a whole thing.
Okay,
I'm not-
let's
I'm
go,
not,
let's go
like-
with the 5 songs right now.
You go first.
What are your 5 songs?
No,
you want me to go first?
You go first.
You want me to go first? I'll tell you right now. The 5 songs that I wish to see live in my
Chop
lifetime,
Suey.
or that I wish I could have seen
Oh,
live.
you listened last week?
Danny California.
I did.
Hey, fucking rap.
I was gonna say Chop Suey by System. Chop Suey, System of a Down. I want to see. I wish I, hands down, I wish I could have seen that. What is it? Oh, Over the Hills, and Far Far Away. Led Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I really wish I would have seen that. Fucking, I would have died. 100%.
That counts as 2. You
you
don't get to bundle those up.
No, that's 2. That's already 2. I'm,
So
I'm
you're
okay
at
with
3.
that. I'm okay with that.
So you're at 3. You get
When
2 more.
Cries Mary, Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
I would again. I would die. I think
He's already dead. You
Dying,
don't have to
man.
die.
I would die twice.
Let him
I'm
Yeah.
gonna play it for you.
Jimi
You're
Hendrix
right.
died, so you didn't have to.
Who else? I
Okay.
think I'd say Beat It by Michael Jackson is one of them. 100%.
You can still say beat it, bro.
You can
And
also still
and-
change that out for
and
Billie Jean.
number
Wait,
5.
how many did you say?
Number
You said
5.
5?
This is my 5th one. Turtle Power by Vanilla Ice.
Wow.
I want to see that.
There you go.
I want to see that with the Ninja Turtles in full costume from the 1990
Stop
films.
talking.
From the
Frank,
1990
you're up.
films. I want to see
Go
that shit.
ninja, go ninja,
Yeah.
go ninja.
Is that
Yep.
like Ninja Rap or something?
Yeah, Ninja
Yeah,
Rap.
yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
stop.
Ninja
Everyone
Rap.
stop. Frank, you're up.
All right. I'm gonna kill off the stop.
Frankfurt.
I fuck with like Beatles, A Day in the Life. That's
Of
my
course you
shit.
do.
Okay.
They never played it live, but
To your knowledge.
to my knowledge, they never played it live. But if they did, I want to be there.
Hey, yo, this one's for not
The
Frank.
Beatles, you know what I'm saying? Then I hit. I fucking had a list right here.
No.
Go ahead.
Vamp on them. You know what I'm saying? Then I want to be there like The Strokes. I like Strokes. This is it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to listen to that shit.
Okay.
Fucking love that song. Fucking Kanye, Can't Tell Me Nothing. I was there, but I'll fucking hear it again.
There you go.
Ah, fuck,
I
that's
would
great.
love to hear him do that in its original run of like that year.
Yeah, when he was like
when
Oh, yeah.
that shit came out, he was
Graduation.
cocky
That
about
polo-
it.
that polo Kanye.
that pink polo.
Yeah.
That's what we want to hear. That's what I'm saying. I heard it in the fucking St. Pablo
Yeah.
concert.
Pretty
but
much.
And I
fine.
will say I've seen Kanye twice, and he did it both times, and I did fall in love both times.
I'll say
Seen
the
him-
person
seen him
who
4
wrote that
times.
remix, just the remix to Can't Tell Me, the version of Kanye who wrote that verse.
That was dope.
I've seen him 3 times. Good.
Hey.
If I could hear, how many of us hit? 2 or 3?
I said 3.
I said 3. If I could hear like a young Rolling Stones do like what's that fucking song? Give Me Shelter.
Yeah, give me shelter.
Give Me Shelter. I'd fucking
Okay.
go over that shit. Give Me
Shout out
Shelter.
to
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese.
Rolling Stones. Yeah, it's Rolling
Shout out to Rolling Stones, more importantly.
Yeah. And then I do. We were talking about. This is on my mind lately. Is System of a Down.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard System of a Down live, but I could go for it. Chop Suey. You said it
yeah.
as a joke.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking
It
around.
wasn't a
I'm
joke.
not
No, I listened to
fucking-
the
I wanna
episode.
hear that.
Yeah, I listened to the last
yeah,
episode.
100%. After last week's episode, I've been jamming that shit 100%. It's fucking
So now-
cigar.
And then my last one, I think this is 5, right? Is if Carlos Santana was still fucking around with like Black Magic Woman,
Yeah.
I fucking listen to that shit.
Santana.
Oh
until fucking-
yeah, of course.
That's my
And
shit.
now I've got, you get to pick 3 duos.
3 duos. Like just duos
Anyone
in
you
general.
want.
Do you have ours?
Yes.
Go ahead and read them.
So,
they get an
for
idea.
example,
Good.
you've got, mine is Dr. Dre and Snoop performing "Ain't Nothing But a G Thing."
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
want to see that.
Do you have mine down too?
Yes.
Damn, I don't remember any of these.
That's your friend, dog.
Oh, trust me. One of yours has a question.
That's your best friend.
I want to hear.
After this in our list, we're good.
What the
I
fuck
also-
does that mean?
I also have a comedy thing.
God damn.
Fuck.
After this
I
in
don't
our
know that-
list,
Comedy
Go
is
ahead.
where I'm like, I don't know shit.
I
Go ahead.
have Biggie and Tupac doing "Where Brooklyn At."
Okay.
Hell yeah, dude.
Where Brooklyn at?
Yep.
Where
Yep.
I got 10, I got 11,
Yeah.
at least 8, 9. Yeah.
We get it.
And then I want to hear the version of "Devil in a New Dress" where Kanye West and Zero both get their
Oh shit. Okay.
shine.
I love it though.
What about y'all?
Go ahead.
No, wait.
Go ahead.
I'll
No,
do
this
mine
is-
right now. And
I'll tell you what yours was.
I'll tell you mine right now, and you can tell me if it's
Okay.
If
Talking about duos.
Let me write it
You've
down.
been looking
how
at my
many?
phone.
Let me
No.
write it down. Let me write it
Right
down.
here on your phone.
Three.
Uh,
3 duos.
and I could be wrong, but I seem like the type of guy that would pick some natural duos. Am I wrong or right?
New it up.
So
Yeah.
Outcast would be one of my duos.
Not on the list. Sorry.
Well, I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
make it quick.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Outcast would be one of my duos.
What song?
Oh, I have to pick a song.
Oh, we don't have to pick a song.
I'll tell you this.
I was saying
is-
because
Fuck
I can't.
that.
I can't
I'm
pick
about
one-
to say Outkast
to pick
too.
one Outcast song is ridiculous.
Actually, the way it went was not duos. It was people that did songs together that you want to see do live.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
hard.
I already got
We're
it.
just gonna stick to
I already
duos.
have it. I already have
We're
it.
just gonna
we
stick
were
to
fucked
duos.
up. I don't know what to tell you.
I believe you.
If you say, I'll still say okay.
Yeah,
I don't give
yeah.
a
So
fuck.
Outcast, UGK,
Nah, don't do it to us.
and I'd see like Pocket Full of Stones if I had to
Okay.
pick one song out of
That's
out of
good.
the
Go ahead.
UGK discography.
Pocketbook
Stones.
Damn. Yeah.
and they won't leave me
You alone. Yeah.
I don't know
Alright, good.
what Outcast song I would pick. I would probably kill myself trying to figure that out. I don't even know, dog.
Gemini. My answer
I
is
now see
Gemini.
Equipment Eye's up there with me, but like if I can
Ooh,
see
don't-
one
the
song,
the story of art
Uh,
telling. Oh my god.
and then
The art of storytelling, part 1.
not Outcast, the Cool Kids. I love the Cool Kids.
Nice.
I would watch them get back
Okay.
together and do
This
live
was people that didn't collaborate often.
shit.
I just want you to
Let's
know.
do
So go with your 3. Do you want me to go
No,
first?
you
Yeah,
already
we made
Wait.
the list already.
Is it
Wait,
top
let me
3?
tell what
Yeah.
Carlos
Top 3
was.
duos? Oh, you
Well,
what do
let's
you
see
think?
what mine was in 2015. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead.
His was okay. Hold on, because wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, one of Carlos's singles was "Party All the Time." Did I say that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Don't try to shame me twice, bro.
I'm not.
So was it
I
Bruce
just wanna make
Willis
sure.
and
No, Biggie and Tupac, "Lion King."
Ooh.
Is that a thing?
Sounds like some
Sure.
YouTube made up shit.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Alright. I may have written it wrong.
I
Huh?
did.
Anyway, this one I like. I love Billy Joel and Action Bronson do Anthony's song and Brand New Car.
Yeah.
All right.
I can see
All
that.
right. That's good. Yeah.
Sounds like
All right. Give me a phone back.
And then his third one is Biggie and Puff, "Who Shot You?"
Who shot?
Perfect.
Don't look at my list here. Write it down.
I don't gotta look at your list. We're your top duos, top 3 duos.
So
Top
top
three
3.
duos.
Sorry. So
And-
top 3.
Either they did it or could do it if needed.
No, we'll just
Top
say,
3.
for this case because we're trying to wrap it up here.
Just
Craig.
songs,
say it.
right?
I'll
All
say
right,
it.
fuck it. I'm gonna go
Top
first.
three
All right, you
duos.
go
You
first.
have a
We're trying
list.
to
I don't
wrap it
have
up
a
at
list.
4
I have a
hours.
list.
All right, so I'm gonna fuck with
Uh,
like Outkast, B.O.B. Like they get it.
No.
Oh, no,
Bombs over Baghdad.
I didn't know about B.O.B. the rapper. I was
No,
like,
no,
shut
no,
the
no,
fuck up.
no.
Wrong, bad,
No, Outkast,
wrong.
Outkast.
This is my
Oh, you
podcast
mean-
now. That's
oh,
wrong.
Nah, fuck that.
Oh, you mean B.O.B. and Bruno Mars?
No. Bombs over Baghdad
They
with
can't pass my
B.O.B.
shades, pass my
Airplane.
shades, pass
No,
my shades.
fucking Bombs over
He
Baghdad.
believes the earth is
B.O.B.
flat.
Nah, I don't give a fuck.
We pretend
No, you
that-
do.
I'm talking about Andre
You
3000 and fucking
You-
Big
you
Boy.
care.
Okay. I don't like that shit.
Airplanes.
I'm about to go wild. Don't stop me.
All right, you got
okay.
the first one.
Then I'll talk about Run the Jewels. Y'all like Run the Jewels?
Yeah, of course.
I like this
listen
song
to him, but I
fucking,
respect him.
Angel Duster.
Every white person
Hell
listens to
yeah.
Run
Run
the
the
Jewels.
Hell yeah.
That,
I
that
have
closer
never
on
heard
Run the
single-
Jewels
He's
too.
lying.
No, I am not. I
Every
have not
white
heard a
person has
single
heard
Run the Jewels
Jewels.
song.
You're fucking lying.
He's trying to defeat
Is
stereotypes.
he
Actually,
lying?
hold
Is
on,
he
hold on.
lying?
He's doing the
No,
worst job at
What
it.
I'll tell you is, I have not paid attention to a Run the Jewels song because I did work with that white guy. that
LP?
stereo-
LP?
just that stereotypical white guy
Oh.
that Carlos was talking about.
Oh.
I
worked
thought y'all.
with
I
him.
thought you was talking about LP too.
I was like, you work with LP?
I was like,
I worked
what?
with that version of a guy at
Okay.
a bar, and he played it once
100%.
a week.
Okay.
All right. So you got
And this last
Go
one
on,
isn't
sorry.
a duo. It's like a group effort.
okay.
Couple Southern efforts, but it's an international player anthem.
Fucking.
International player anthem.
That's it, yeah.
It's one of the
Of course,
greatest songs
of
of all time.
So he's my best friend. So
I was gonna say it's
And,
not
so-
a problem to
International player anthem.
compliment one another.
So there you
So
go.
yeah. So here's my list. It's-
UGK,
I'm gonna say it.
Outkast,
Oh,
3-6 Mafia.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, where?
My first one was Outkast, UGK, 3-6 International
That
Players
doesn't
Album.
count. Come up with another
Players
one.
Album.
That was supposed to be, fun fact, a 3-6 in UGK song just straight
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Their whole album.
Yeah, that's supposed to be one of the, they're supposed to do a whole 3-6
Second
underground type album.
Pedro's like, shut the fuck up. I'm still going.
My bad, bro. Keep
Go
that
ahead.
lean open.
Second
my
one was Sitting Sideways, Kanye and Paul Wall.
bad.
Okay.
Ooh,
I just wanna see that shit.
That was a good
That's
one.
not it.
Always
Always
make
it's that right.
Oh, it's not Sitting Sideways.
Nah, I
it's
know
Drive
that.
slow.
Drive Slow.
I know
With
what you meant.
GLC.
Yeah,
I d-
drive slow.
On a side note, I want to see Sitting Sideways live as well.
All right.
I've never seen that one
Big
live
facts.
as well.
That's a good one.
Thank you. You're not asking for much. So far, you're only 3 songs deep.
And
Or
then
2 hours.
finally, last one is Under Pressure, Queen of David Bowie.
Ooh.
Been wanting to see that one.
Nice, man.
Fucking love that song. I've always loved that song. So, yeah, that would be great. I'd love to see that.
And the last one.
Oh,
is-
shit.
Fuck
No,
I'm like,
wrapping it
We're
up.
done.
When is this
We're
episode ending?
that one. The comedians.
Say
I'm
it,
fucking
Garrett.
garbage
What
on
are you about to say?
I mean, we can
Nah,
wrap
it's
it up
okay.
and we'll talk
Don't
about it.
don't indulge him.
Don't indulge him?
Yeah. Live. Oh, there,
There
you
we
go.
go. Okay, all
There
right.
you go.
So
Pedro put his pants
with
back
that,
on.
we filled
Everything
up one.
hurts.
We filled up one whole SD card with footage. I
It's
think
right
we. I
here.
think
That's not all you
we're
filled
good.
Look
up.
at it. It's right here.
we're 100%
hurts.
done. Calling it.
Let
at
Carlos sing real quick.
at
Wanna hear
2
it.
hours and
I've never
58
sang a
minutes.
day in my life.
Oh.
At 2 hours and 58
What do you wanna
minutes,
sing?
we're gonna go ahead and call it with you guys.
We greatly appreciate y'all having us on. Seriously, I'm sorry we took
longest
too much.
No,
time.
dude.
Perfect.
It was fucking awesome. Don't worry.
Awesome.
This is gonna be.
Someone
This is gonna
had
be
to
a
make
really
the
good.
longest
What do
episode
you-
ever.
Honestly,
What do y'all have coming up? Y'all gonna be
Nothing.
this
More-
Saturday. What this Saturday?
Not this Saturday, we
so
have-
so
I'll let
this
Pedro say it.
so this Saturday you can catch us at Retropalooza, Houston.
Boom.
Wait, when will people hear this?
What?
When will people actually hear this episode?
Tomorrow.
Next week.
So tell them how great
Yes,
Retropalooza
Retropalooza
was.
Retropalooza was
really
dope
good.
as fuck. It was awesome. We
They
had a
didn't
great
lose a
time.
single game.
We,
Yeah.
we had a great time meeting all of y'all there. So
I
thank
beat
you.
you at
More like
also-
Loopy Palooza.
Also,
Mortal
fuck
Kombat.
Beat him at
Street
Mortal
Fighter,
Kombat.
Dave Mira, BMX XXX.
X.
Like,
With
oh,
that,
shit.
The
On
dicks are
poppin'.
way much bigger
Yeah.
in that one.
You had Triple X BMXing?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
With that,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna finally end episode 43 of another special
I guess.
podcast. Thank you guys so much.
on.
Thank you guys.
While I'll close that out, while I'll close that out, I'm going to take a piss. All right.
No.
I've
At
had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before.
There you go.
And I
It's
swear
gonna be completely zoomed on them.
this is true, and I owe it all to you.
You boy. Because
Where can the viewers
Wow.
find
Ivan
y'all?
is complete.
Where-
SouthsideCollection.com
Oh, shit,
or
you're singing.
Southside Collection on any fucking thing.
In non-musical format. Southside Collection everywhere. Southside Collection.
All right.
.com. Boom.
And of course,
Southside
you can-
Collection on Instagram, literally in any platform. We also do a well, I know we didn't really talk about that, but we also
We
do
did talk about that.
We've dedicated an hour and a half.
No, we talk
Podcast
about
like
us.
fuck. I feel like.
All right.
Well, we also do a podcast. You can find that on anywhere where you
course.
listen to podcasts. We're not just this natural on microphones where we just drink 40 beers like that.
These guys have been Southside.
Southside Collection.
We have been Nothing Special.
Special.
And we'll
Thank you,
always
guys.
be Southside.
I thought
And
there
we'll
was
see y'all next week.
I thought there was like 6 more
Appreciate
hours to
it.
this.
Nah.
Last time there was like 9. What?